Welcome to Alien RPG. It's Chariot of the Gods, which is the starter set module for this role playing game. Um, with patrons on my Discord and for you know this channel, I typically try to throw out fun, cool, different, and new ideas to try and test new games and take different perspectives on games that we're currently playing. This is the first patron game I believe we have run in a little while, and it's definitely the first one of the year. So I just wanted to make sure everybody understood, what these are for and kind of what they are in the broader sense. That said, we're going to kind of jump right into this game. The crew of the Montero, a transport, effectively a trucker, a space trucker ship, is going from point A to point B, and cryo sleep is in effect. The trip is about 11 weeks, which is not a terribly long trip for such crews, but due to a diversion by the corporation, the cryo stasis is deactivated early. It's a very similar story to ones we've probably heard in this specific setting and in the lore, but Wayland Yutani very much desires to make sure its employees are doing everything they can for the company. Let's talk about those employees. We'll go ahead and start with Lark. Based on what you have available to you, and again, you get to fill in if there are any blanks. Tell us a bit about the captain of the Montero.
Hi, I'm Lark. I am playing Captain Vanessa Miller of the USCSS Montero. She's just running her hopefully last run, to get paid and move on to a completely different gig because she's kind of tired of Wayland Yutani. That's about it.
Okay. So the corporation typically sends some sort of corporate stooge along in these trips, and man, have we got one for you. Brent, go ahead and tell us a bit about John J. Wilson.
Okay, let's see. John works for the company. It's a great company, by the way. It's an amazing company.
Yeah.
100% company, man, by the way. But he's like full belief that company is the best place ever. And, he will probably die for thinking that, now, but it's fine. He was prepared for this, I think.
Okay.
He definitely doesn't look like a very adequate man. He definitely sits probably behind a computer screen most of the time. He makes decisions. He doesn't do what the decisions are needed for. So if something needs worked on, he's not the guy for it. But if you need somebody to talk your head off, he's got you.
All right. So let's get to the actual employees. So we've got a couple of roughnecks, basically busybodies on the ship. We'll do them first. So let's go ahead and start with Cham. Go ahead and tell us about Cham there, John.
Well, Cham is, I guess, nothing but to say loyal. He's asking anybody what they need, making sure if they need any help, he'll help them. Past that, he's just nose to the grindstone.
Okay, good guy. Loyal employee. And then Kayla Rye. Johnny, tell us a little bit about Kayla. Or you're muted. Or you're not here? Johnny!
Oh no, Xeno already got them?
So the Xenomorph got Johnny. Johnny, you're not coming through, voice-wise. I think you're muted. Somehow on your side. Okay, he's fixing his mic, so we'll go ahead and move from Johnny then to Tom. Tom, tell us a bit about Leia.
Been the pilot of the Montero for a while, has a little bit of a reputation for being able to miraculously get the ship out of tight spots. Although there may be some people thinking that she's responsible for the ship getting into those tight spots in the first place, but it's still in one piece, so no stones thrown.
Right. Okay.
Hello?
And then Johnny, we can hear you. So
Okay.
go ahead and do yours.
Okay, well, everybody have their loyalty and all that. Loyalty's gonna get you killed. I'm in it for the money. I try to do the bare minimum. As long as I get paid well. Doesn't really, again, just in here for the money. Doesn't really give a shit about anything else. Just I have a younger brother at home, chronically ill. Gotta send him money. And I just gotta do what I gotta do to get the bills paid.
Perfect. So you all wake up, and again, you all know each other. Obviously, you come to in cryo sleep or out of cryo sleep. The ship's on auto, and there are 6 cryopods. The 6th cryopod is occupied by a cat, and the cat will wake up, do its little flustery dusteries, and start kind of moving around the ship as you folks gear up and kind of get acclimated. Is there any questions that your characters would have, or anything that your characters would be doing in this kind of setup stage?
Routine monitoring of ship stats and such.
Okay, so you would notice that you are off course. There was a diversion, and it looks as though you are approaching a distress beacon. The distress beacon comes from a ship that, according to the distress beacon's info, is the USCSS Cronus. The Cronus is a science exploration vehicle.
And this wasn't part of our mission. to begin with,
Correct.
right?
But it does appear that there was a Wayland Yutani specific order for this to be for the beacon to be checked, the distress beacon to be checked, and salvage to occur. And salvage is also something that you folks do, and it's quite lucrative.
So we gotta make sure they're okay.
Yeah, let's not push ourselves though. We'll get what we need to get done, but
Hey, but the money's really good. I think we should do it.
So you kind of gather yourselves and eventually end up in the mess hall / meeting area, and start kind of slopping down your slop and discussing the matters at hand. I would say that the details that some of you are aware of would have come to you at this point. And the information that you have regarding the Cronus, again, as mentioned, it appears to be a science vessel, and the distress beacon is very generic. It just seems to be a derelict distress. So basically, when a ship is unable to make it to the next port of call.
About how far away is it? Like, how much transit time are we looking at?
You probably have about an hour to 2 hours before you actually arrive, within physical kind of visibility of the craft.
Ah, hell, this route sucks. Captain, do you want me to get us there a little faster so we can get back on task?
yeah, I think that's for the best.
Okay. We'll go ahead and move us to the Montero. And bear with me here while I grab another couple of things here. Okay, so you should have icons. You can move those to the parts of the ship that you want to be in. That's totally fine. Obviously, the part of the ship that you would need to be in to pilot the thing would be the bridge.
So wait, we're on the Daisy?
No.
You are on the Montero.
Okay.
The Daisy is a transport craft that's basically on the underbelly of the Montero.
Gotcha.
The Montero cannot land gravitationally. It's not a ship that is designed for that.
This is a shuttle.
It is not technically a shuttle, in that it doesn't have like a very decent range capability or capacity. Basically, it would be like trying to, using the term shuttle for it would be kind of like trying to say like taking a Toyota GT, like old model 2-seater with like, just banged up seats and used for like, driving to work, would drive you across the country, right? Like it's not going to be like a long haul situation. It's not going to be comfortable. It is very much a thing for purpose. It takes
Just a drop.
Yeah.
Drop ship.
Yeah, it takes stuff down to the planet, it brings stuff up to the ship. Because also, too, that ship that you're seeing there, you are on your way to receive cargo to tow. So your ship is much lighter at current. But more often than not, there is a mass of just shit behind you, kind of attached to the ascent of this.
Yeah, I had to scroll out a little bit.
Yep. Oh, you were locked in on the Daisy. Gotcha.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where I live now.
Space tugboat.
Yep. So, it looks like, just to be sure, Cham, you're going into the Mother Bay, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So, the ship has an onboard computer system. It is effectively an AI structure that you can talk to anywhere on the ship, but obviously you can talk a bit more directly to Mother on the mainframe deck. And this is basically what it looks like inside. And effectively, this space serves to answer questions that you might have, but there will be restrictions to what you can ask or what will be answered based on your ranking.
I was just going in here to
Check it out.
make sure everything's good.
Yeah, looks like all the lights are doing the thing they do. Absolutely.
Mother, need any routine maintenance?
Negative. Currently, the only maintenance that needs to be performed on the Montero are the ship's sensors. The glitch that was reported is still sporadically causing sensor reflection issues.
And I will report it.
Okay.
Unless you already have.
So, yeah, you remember when you left, not in your notes, but yeah, when you left
Right.
Anchor Point, there was a kind of strange sequence of like ghost signals kind of appearing, which was then clocked, and it doesn't appear to have like gone away. It's still happening. Okay, so Leia, you are going to be piloting this thing and trying to get to it faster. Is that right?
That is correct.
All right. So I believe that would be. I think piloting is.
It is a skill.
piloting?
If we are
piloting,
saying it is a thing that needs the roll,
yes, it is.
all right. Leia will look at the charts, determine the most direct route, regardless of what may be between point A and point B, and then tell everybody to hold on to their butts.
That sounds like a perfectly idiot thing to say.
Even though there's no turbulence in space.
For sure. So you have rolled 2 successes with that roll, based on what's said here. You can, however, push your roll to see if you can get more successes, but this will create a situation where you're adding stress to yourself, which will kind of remain with you for a while, if not indefinitely.
I think the 2 successes is flashy enough for
Okay.
Leia this time.
So you're cutting time, which is the initial success, and you're doing it in a way that's kind of like, keeps everybody on the edge of their seat. Okay.
Yeah, we're
awesome.
gonna zip between some debris that I assume is left behind from the ship as we approach.
Yeah. So as you start, you gain vision on it and kind of begin your approach on the Cronus. It doesn't appear that there's any damage to it. From this distance, as a pilot, it does look like there is a module from the back of the ship that appears to be missing. But these modules can kind of like detach or be kind of like left behind or released at any point. So it doesn't look as though there's like anything wrong with the ship. It looks pretty good from here. There are a number of airlocks, but the main airlock point for the Cronus is located on the dorsal side of the ship, specifically what you would note as main airlock junction A1.
See, we got here in half the time and I didn't even blow the engine.
Excellent work.
Proud of you.
Ooh. Good
We
job.
should make preparations to board, but in the meantime,
Thanks for the raid solution. By the way, sorry, I just saw that in the chat. I apologize. Go ahead, continue.
You good over there, Wilson? You're looking a little green.
perhaps in the meantime, while we are preparing to board, could we possibly have the engineer, I believe Kayla, look at our sensor issues? See if there's anything they can figure out with that.
Well, I guess if I have to.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and give you the details, and then you can decide if you want to try and roll on it. Basically, based on your kind of lead-in, just understanding your character, what you know is this was detected, and Cham kind of notated it and logged it when you first left the anchor point station. What you know is that this is a situation that cannot be fixed mid-flight, and cannot be fixed like without specific like repair kit. Like you need like parts. It's not a situation that you can kind of jury rig or fix here in space. You need a physical replacement. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Oh no, that's for Johnny. So
Oh, yeah.
you can try something if you want to like do your
Well-
best. But if you want to,
Oh, of course not. It's kind of just doing the bare minimum that you could get away with.
so yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I need the actual thing to actually fix it. Not much I can do. Sorry. Shrugs.
Now, what kind of scanning is this ship capable of doing? Can we scan before we go in?
So it's capable of doing some scanning, but the problems that you have with your scanners will create a couple of effects that are problematic. So when you're scanning in a finite sense and kind of scanning for life forms or life signatures, what'll happen because of this glitch is it's going to create ghosts. So if there are life signatures over there, you'll know, but you won't know how many, because it'll be kind of like, it could look like it could be one, but that could be ghosted into like 20, right? Because of the way the glitch is messing up. And then in a more long range sense of it, there will be moments where your sensors will detect a ship being nearby, but there won't be a ship nearby.
That's fun. I still think we should scan. If there is a life form, whether it's 1 or 20, it'd be nice to know if there's something living on there before we go in.
Yep. So from what your sensors gather, and again, there's a lot of ghost signatures, but there's one thing that kind of like identifies that there is an assured location where there is more than likely going to be actual life signatures, and that would be on the. Bear with me here. So you're scanning the Cronus, and you're basically pulling up its information. Its exploratory vessel, Wayland Yutani made, cool. Slightly bigger than your, ship, but again, nowhere near as strong, even though its engines are much more massive. The cryo locations, which is on deck A. Those appear to be where there's a kind of broad kind of pulse of life signatures, but it appears that there are life forms according to the sensor, which is again glitching, all over the ship.
Sorry, can you ping the area? Sorry,
Sure.
I was zoomed in a little too much. Okay.
And according to your pilot, Junction A1, which is just north of there, is where if you are going to umbilical to the ship, that would be where you would do it.
Okay. And this dotted line, is that ventilation?
Correct.
Okay. Alright. Well, looks like we will have to check out cryo, because we are supposed to investigate this. Obviously that means if there's something or someone still alive on there, we gotta look at that. But what did the orders come with anything specific to salvage or no? Just salvage.
No, basically rescue and salvage.
Okay. Alright. Who's going with me?
Oh, one beat here too. I want to make sure it's clear, and again, you can interact with that however you want. But typically, when the corporation sends forward like a salvage task like this, the corporate guy will know what is important. But according to what you have, it's rescue and salvage. So the presumption is that first one is the more important beat.
Well, if he knows what we're looking for, then I guess he's already volunteered.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what we need to grab.
I mean, I'll help out.
Alright,
Oh.
that's two.
Anything
How
to get
many,
off the
uh,
ship for a minute.
How much?
Yeah,
how
we'll
many
need as many
people can
hands
the
as we can
Daisy
get.
hold?
How many people can the Daisy hold?
Yeah.
Oh, it could hold 10, just not like terribly comfortably.
Okay.
And another note too is, yeah, you'll see on the ship they do have a vehicle bay. There is a space that could receive the ship or the shuttle. The problem is that it is not open, and you cannot remote open it from here. So there's nowhere for you to land the Daisy on the Cronus.
Okay. So we just have to link.
Umbilical to the
Send it
back
in.
end or the top end of it and drop in, yeah.
If we
Mm.
need to, we could always go down, a couple of us, go in and open the vehicle bay to get off as much as we can and bring the Daisy that way.
We definitely
That way we can
could.
get the most bang
But
for our
if we're-
buck.
But if we are
Mm,
umbilical, then I don't. Yeah, that does make sense. Okay, yeah. If we want to go for like cargo.
Yeah,
capacity.
with when we
Yeah,
gotta
that
rescue
sounds
people, it'd
good.
be faster to get all the people grouped up into the vehicle bay and load them onto the Daisy than individually sending people through,
Well, another thing to
Alright.
note
while also
too,
grabbing stuff.
if you're going on here and the people inside are okay, and you can figure out what's wrong with the ship to make it move, you could salvage the whole ship. You wouldn't even have to take
That's
stuff off
true.
of it.
Mm.
So it
And
sounds
then-
like you guys want to do kind of an exploratory thing. You have some different things that you're wanting to do, right?
Yeah.
So, Captain,
Mhm.
just decide where you want to send them, and if you, I mean, again, once you're umbilicaled, they're basically the same ship. You're effectively connected, so you can kind of stay on board your ship, or everybody could just go on board the Cronus and figure it out.
Before we
Well,
go
let's
on to
hit-
the Cronus, can we? Is there a way we can check to make sure all their like life support things is working? Like we'll be able to breathe on there still.
Yeah, absolutely. So, according to what you can tell, it does look like the life support functions are active. It does look like the fission generators are off, which means that the power plant for the structure is not working, but backup batteries have been employed. It's basically currently on effectively life support primarily, with other kind of limited functionality. Almost as if the
Gotcha,
ship's been
okay.
put to sleep.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mm. Okay.
So I guess some of the things we want to do. So we definitely want to, possibly open up that cargo bay, or not cargo bay, but the landing bay, so
Mhm.
that we could possibly get the Daisy in there. We definitely need to check out the cryo. I think it was 3 area, somewhere in cryo.
1, 2, and 3, yeah.
To check those life signatures. we want to hit up Mother to see what, possibly if we can pull what they were doing to begin with, see where they went and where they were going. Also, see if there's anything we can get communicating between the two ships, if necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And then other than that, is there any other spot that we need to make sure we hit up right away?
It's a science vessel, so we should definitely check out the science lab and the module.
The science module is missing.
Oh, the science module's missing? Okay.
Nope.
So would the science lab still be there, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, we should definitely check out the science labs, just to see if, like, maybe they were working on something before their ship broke down and they went back into cryo.
Also, I would say if there's expensive things on the ship, some of it's
It would
probably
definitely
going to
be
the
there,
science
yeah.
lab, yeah.
And whatever
That
we
or
bring
the
back from the
armor.
science lab would definitely be the most profitable.
Mm-hmm. These are
For the
all
group.
good thoughts.
My take.
So I want to make sure that you folks are aware of what gear you have before you head over. Obviously, there is a limited amount of... there's a potential for a limited amount or a limiter on life support on the other ship. There could also be a situation where you're entering into a space that might be kind of, like low on oxygen and being reserved specifically for cryo, right? So you would probably want to take your suits. There are a total of 6 IRC Mark 50 compression suits. They will start with 5 air supply. And air supply will be something that we check throughout the process. You'll roll dice to determine your air supply, and once it's out, it's out.
Okay. Out of character,
Yeah.
would we know who has the highest authority in the mother system? Would it be the captain or would it be the company guy?
You have different authority.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not so much a higher authority. The corporate jargon is going to happen for Wilson. The ship jargon is going to happen for Miller.
Okay, gotcha. And the mother wouldn't really work with 2 people in it at the same time. It's like
It
a
could.
one person at a
It just
time.
depends on who is asking. Yeah, and certain if sensitive material is being proffered, it will basically note the people who are in the room are not privy to information. If that's the case, because that could be true for the ship's captain, that could be true for the corporate guy.
Okay. I would like to check out the mother system when we go in.
Mother system is what you're gunning for. Okay. So
Yep.
another couple things I want to throw out that are kind of present on the docket. You have 1 on the Montero. This is the gear that you have available to you. So it's the 6 IRC Mark 50 compression suits. 1 M314 motion tracker with a power supply of 5. 1 cutting torch, also with a power supply of 5. 1 Watatsumi bolt gun with 4 shots. You have, this is for the captain, you have an M4A3 service pistol, and it has 1 reload.
Okay.
There is a Space Sub ASSO 400 harpoon grappling gun. There is 1 M240 incinerator unit with 2 reloads. And the ship's loading bay, or rather the cargo shuttle, has inside of it a P5000 power loader, which is not identical to the power loader in the movie Aliens. It is very close. It's just a bit older than that.
Okay. I'm definitely going to take my service pistol with me.
Okay. Do you want
No,
anybody
anything
specifically to take any of the other equipment?
Is there anything I need to bring?
The bolt gun might be a good idea in case there's an area of the ship that we need to do like a patch up job on. So if anybody knows how to use that.
I can.
Yeah.
What would you discern heavy machinery as?
Do you mean the skill?
The loader.
Yeah.
Yeah, the loader. The bolt gun would work as well.
What was that first thing that you had listed off before the
M314
motion
motion
tracker.
tracker.
motion tracker? We
I-
definitely need that.
I posted in the patron thread the list of stuff that we got. It should be
Okay.
6.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, it should be 6 IRC suits. Because the ship is actually your ship is actually equipped for 6 people. It's just that you do not need a 6th person, and the company won't hire a replacement. So the cat was added.
Shocker.
Oh, important
Shocker.
question.
Yeah,
Nice.
Important question. How old is the cat?
I would say the cat is probably somewhere around 7 years old.
What's their name?
Beautiful. Love it.
I don't know, what is their name?
Mr. Man.
Mr. Man is what you call the cat? Okay.
Mr. Man.
Mr. Man.
Thank you.
Do they have a penchant for using our 3D printer?
They they genuinely do, yeah. Mr. Man,
Not surprised.
I
They
guess is
activate
now,
the self-med bay.
yeah.
They for heat all the time.
Fucking
Turn it
Bill,
into a giant heating pad.
Prince of
He's made
Prince of
he makes a
Person.
bunch of piece. He makes a bunch of piece hammer. 80K.
With 80K. Yeah, I really want to clarify something too, because I knew that was actually going to be a problem. A bolt gun is not firing massive rocket
No,
shells.
shooting bolts.
It shoots rivets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to clarify that.
At
mean, I
least
guess
until
like-
we fix it.
If they had bolt guns in Alien, it would have gotten a lot easier.
Yeah, I bet.
No,
Yeah.
it's a rivet gun technically.
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying, like, in case we need to patch up something. Another thing, I don't know about maybe the cutting torch.
Torch.
But I don't know how much damage we're gonna run into yet.
Sure.
You could
The-
You
always-
want me to bring the power loader in?
Well,
that's not something we could just
Yeah.
walk in with. I don't.
the
think.
power loader is not going to fit in the hallways. It will fit inside of the vehicle bay. That's for sure.
Yeah, we gotta open up one of the vehicle bays first.
Yeah.
He tries it. He's like, oh dang it! Oh dang it! Oh dang it!
Take it
Damn it.
apart, reassemble it on site. Get away from her, you bitch! Just saying it to everything for no reason.
They're like, what are
Anyway,
you? Who hired this
Anyway.
guy?
who hired this
So,
guy?
def-
Go ahead.
somebody's definitely got to have the motion tracker because we are getting a life signature in there.
Who's the guy?
Let's say, well, Johnny's getting the what was it, the bolt
The
pistol.
bolt. Yeah, the bolt.
Bolt gun
Who else is going
for.
with us? Are we all just going on? Is that what's going on? We're just all
Honestly,
working
if you're
on-
wanting to do this
Yeah.
quickly, if the goal is to get back on track and head to Sutter's World as quick as possible, then yeah, you want to all board the ship, get everything you need done immediately, and then return back to your ship with the salvage, or have somebody help here and drive this ship on its way if you can get it fixed.
All right, if that's the case, I'd like to give Wilson the motion tracker.
Okay.
I would like to have the bolt gun goes to Kayla. My service pistol. Maybe
you.
the incinerator to
Goes to
Davis. Who's
To-
Which one's Davis?
Davis is the pilot.
All right, Davis, you can get the incinerator. I trust you.
Perfect.
And then the grappling
Literally
gun.
on my sheet that I trust you. You're my buddy, Davis.
I have gotten
uh,
the ship through plenty of tight scraps before.
Hell yeah. And then last person gets the cutting torch.
That
I guess
would be
that's
Champ.
me.
John? Who's John?
There's also a
Good thing,
harpoon
guy.
grappling gun.
Yeah.
Good thing I know how to use the torch.
Well, we always have Kayla with us, so you can always hand it off to them. We need somebody carrying it at least.
No, I do know how to use it.
No, for reals.
Oh, okay,
I was
good.
not doing a bit.
For real?
Uh,
Oh,
so,
For
okay.
once.
I don't know this.
If that's the case, there is an effort that's required in piloting. I need you to make another piloting roll, Rye, to ensure that you can tether with the Cronus and secure your umbilical. So go ahead and make your piloting roll. Okay. So,
Gonna do a fancy spin move as we approach, just to make sure we're lined up just right.
I'm confused. It says 2 successes, but oh, it just flips them. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, okay. So once the 6 is rolled, it's on the left side. It's the white. Getting used to the system, folks. If you're watching, sorry. definitely new to it and the first time running it, but we're having
We're back.
fun. So yeah, success. And you said you go ahead with your.
We're gonna approach with some flair. I'm gonna be spinning the ship just a little to make sure that it lines up just right, so people may have to grab on to something to not tip over as we approach.
Yeah, I'm thinking like there's another point too. Is like as the umbilical's kind of releasing out, you're actually spinning, so that once it kind of extends to the point where it's going to latch, it latches perfect in this like beautiful kind of spin and kind of puts you to in like an oscillating kind of rotation connected with the tether. Not noticeable to most people because again, it's like you're in space, you know.
That felt good, right? That was lined up perfectly.
Click. So
Could be sleeping right now.
you're tethered in, and
Well, if it was good for you, it was good for me. Let's go.
are you loading
That'll-
up in your spacesuits?
Yeah.
Okay.
It-
So I will explain too that that's usually the case anyway when you're traveling through umbilical, because even though it's perfectly connected, there are off chances like space debris could hit the umbilical. There could be, you know, a shift on the other ship that causes it to snap. Basically, you want to be ready for zero gravity when you're passing through the umbilical. It is not a reliable tunnel way that is easy to kind of move through. But if you do pass over, who's going to be the lead operator that kind of like moves towards the ship first?
I would like to be, but I assume I have to stay behind for a few beats to make sure that everything is squared away with the ship.
Yeah,
Float.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll walk out first.
Okay. And you make your way
I want
across.
whoever.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want Wilson to be near me though because we need to have that motion sensor on hand.
Go ahead and make me a mobility roll.
Mobility.
You're traveling in zero gravity.
Did you do the click? Dice to subtract for mobility. This is a macro option. I don't think I have to.
No, yeah, don't subtract anything from it.
Okay.
Okay, so you have one success. So you managed to make it across without any issue. Now, I do want to make sure you guys understand. If you were to have failed that, you could then push to try and succeed, or just take the failure. In these kind of early stages, obviously the risk of failure is not going to be very high, but as we kind of get more complicated, that will change. But you make it to the other side. The door appears to be damaged. It looks like something from within kind of burgeoned against it, like pressure, perhaps, like an internal pressure kind of expending outwards, or something physically slammed into the ceiling. Because you're entering in and you'll be descending down onto the platform in the junction. You also notice that. Go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to say, can I try to muscle it before we try to do anything technical?
Yeah, 1 second though. You'll also notice that there are scratches, like some sort of like metal object raked against the glass on the inside, and it's kind of caused a situation where the kind of transparent like metal that is kind of the windshield or the window space seems to have been kind of glazed completely white over, as if something kind of rent into it and kind of tore it apart slightly. If you're just muscling the door open and trying to see if it'll kind of activate in that way, I believe there's a skill for that. I'm not looking at the sheet at this moment, but I'm going to say it's strength. Yeah, that sounds right.
Let's see.
Okay, so you managed to succeed here, and it causes the door to open. This happens after everyone else has gotten into the tunnel behind you and has sealed off your side of the door so that depressurization doesn't exist when you're basically relieving the space in the center of the pressure of your ship and then filling it with the pressure of that ship, and effectively a trade-off. So everybody else is inside of the craft, and you're making your way across the umbilical. So everybody go ahead and make a mobility roll. I just need the one success.
Ability. Dope.
Where is that?
Mobility will be
Trying
one
to
of the skills in the center of your character sheet.
Mm.
I'm trying to. Oh,
Yeah. It's,
Yep, there's like a kind of cross grid, and like each one kind of deals with like.
yeah, I found it.
Yep.
So you have to roll 6 for a success.
So you do have to roll a 6 for a success. So
Mhm.
Cham, and Cham and Rai, you two are kind of having some issues. You've got a lot of gear. You're kind of maneuvering across the space. So I'm going to give you two options before you decide. You can either leave whatever you're carrying to make it across, and leave it to someone else to try and figure it out, or you can push yourself.
Push myself.
Go ahead and
Yeah.
click the push button.
Let's push.
Okay. Now you'll see that
Oh.
your dice that you just rolled now have a yellow or orange dice on the kind of right side.
Mhm.
That is a stress die, and it should have added a stress level to your character sheet. Please let me
It
know
did.
if it did.
It did.
Okay,
Yep.
It did.
perfect. So as that stress level goes up, you will roll more dice. But if you ever roll a 1 on that stress side, you're going to panic. Okay? So it opens your opportunity for success because you're kind of like, against the grain panic mode. But it also gives you an opportunity to just absolutely shut down in the middle of a thing. Okay.
Gotcha.
You manage to push yourself. You kind of like you're flustered, kind of annoyed, and you make your way across, struggling through it, pushing yourself all the way to the end. And Captain Miller is descending down the ladder into the other side. So again, there's a situation where you're exiting zero gravity and entering into the artificial gravity of the ship. So you're kind of like upside down, spinning yourself and kind of vertically descending into the space and then climbing down the ladder. And you'll end up on junction A1. I might make them smaller so that they all fit, but yeah. You are on junction A1. Once there.
That was a bit stressful, but we're here.
I don't get paid enough for this, but
You'll be all right. Come on. We're helping out the
Alright.
company. That's all. That's what matters.
if you
think
say so.
Our first order, sorry. I think our first order of action should be to check out the life signature. We can always swing back and check out Mother after that. But that's probably the more pressing situation we have here.
So what I will say,
Got the life signature. I can check out Mother right now. I mean, we're right next to each other.
as you're kind of in this space, a couple of things I want to point out. It looks as though the air duct on the right side looks like the paneling has been broken out and is laying on the floor. You would also see that it looks like there are, just like your craft, there are kind of these small windowed areas where the suits, spacesuits, will go. And what everyone will notice is that they are all older models of spacesuits. Now, when you brought up the information regarding the Cronus, and it's up at the top of the map, this is a very interesting kind of small little beat that no one caught. But the symbol for the company is not Wayland Yutani with the Y behind it. It is just Wayland. Which means that this is an old ship. And from what you got on your details as you kind of bring up your data pad and kind of look at it, Miller, you would realize that this ship is like 73 years old. Or it's been missing for 73 years.
So unless somebody survived in cryo for that long, we're really not expecting to run.
The life signs are present.
They are present. Yeah.
You would reseal the
boring as shit.
You would reseal the door above you. The umbilical kind of holding. It looks like it's A-okay. And I would say that Miller with the data tab that I told you just had, and I would say that Wilson, you probably have a scanning device. because you have the motion detector. Does anybody want to do anything kind of scientific in this space before moving to your next beat?
You said that the air vent next to us was open, right?
The air vent is but the panel is broken off. That's right.
Okay. I know my character would know. The motion detector will tell us if something's like through walls, right? Like it detects motion like through walls and everything as well.
Correct. It would detect motion that's
Gotcha.
happening around you. Yeah, that's not being blocked by any kind of like thick circumstances.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'll activate the motion tracker as soon as we step out, just to make sure we're not like gonna get bum rushed or something.
Okay. There doesn't appear to be any motion so far as to say.
I've been muted this whole time. Cham is going to pick up the broken piece and then try to fit it back on the. But that's not safe. We should put this
Baby
back up
cat.
here.
Stop it. Stop it, baby cat. Please.
Mr. Man.
Mr. Man is knocking stuff over, I think, on your ship. So basically, when you get back, everything's going to be broken.
All cups are on
That
the floor.
wasn't my fault this time.
Yeah, the cups all on the floor, glass shattered.
Yeah, I want to try to put the air duct.
Listen, we have
cover-
a rule for not leaving your cups out for a reason, guys.
And that's because of our 6th employee.
John, you mentioned something in the side chat. I do want to cover that with you, so I'm going to send you something regarding that. That's a good question. Yeah. Hold on. Sorry, that's a very astute point. For everyone else, though, you were planning on your next move. Did I cut someone off in saying something? I'm sorry. I was Kat and also John. Good question on the side.
I was saying that I was going to put the bars for the air duct back on.
Okay.
Yeah, the grate.
And try to fix it.
Yeah, how destroyed does it look? John's like put it back in place.
So the vent looks like it was actually like forcibly pushed off by like something heavy. Like it was like bludgeoned with like a sledgehammer from the inside out.
That's not a good sign.
That is odd.
I don't know what did this, but we should probably fix it. Over here.
Alright,
I'm
I
just
do
trying to-
change my mind. I do think we should hit up Mother first. I want to see what this, what went into this SOS that they sent out.
Okay.
And see if they have any information on that. I'm gonna head towards Mother.
Got it. So you're heading towards Mother.
Yep.
Is anybody else going with the captain?
I'll go and wait outside the door so I can go into Mother after she does.
Okay.
I'll try to help Sham with the air duct.
Okay, so you're staying in Junction A, and you're
Yeah.
trying to fix it?
Yep.
Okay, so it doesn't look like... I want to explain. It doesn't look like the air duct is broken. I guess the best way to describe it is like, you know how when you look up at an air duct, it has like the kind of grating that allows for air to kind of come in at a kind of set flow? That part has been removed from the air duct. Like something burgeoned out of the space. Or chest burst out of the space. I don't know why I would use that kind of terminology. The panel that keeps the air duct shut is on the floor, kind of broken up, and it looks like it was slammed from the inside by something very heavy, like a sledgehammer. So
it's like broken.
It could be put back on there. Like you could definitely work it back onto there. But what I'm saying to you is it wouldn't serve as a defense point. Like it could just easily be removed.
I don't think he thought that at all. It was more just
putting it back together.
Just putting it back together.
Okay. Well then, yeah, you take some time. Go ahead and just give me a what am I looking for? Just give me a I don't know. A roll. Give me a roll. Let's go. Let's go with strength. You're kind of hammering it back together. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you managed to do it together. No problem.
They're good as new.
Sure is. Nice.
Alright. Is Mother locked, or can I access Mother?
Okay. So you two move over to Mother. The door has a button, currently green lit, and you press it, and the door opens, and you enter into the Mother. This is a Mother 2000, so it is much older than the Mother you are used to looking at. Which, again, if you take the retrofuturism of Alien and then, like, make it older, that's effectively the room you're walking into.
We got a grandmother over
Ah,
here.
shit. Gotta brush up on my DOS.
This is a grandmother.
Alright.
I love that.
Alright. So here we go. Putting in my best DOS commands. Let's see what the SOS was initiated for, if anything. Like, if it's got information
So,
about that.
I'm going to note a couple of things present here. Oh, sorry. I apologize.
Hmm?
It will not open for you. I apologize. It will not open for
Oh.
you. I forgot that this command was in effect. So, it will not open for you. You hit the green button and it turns red. It looks like
Wilson,
the
do
panel
you
in the
want that?
center of the double door has an access key card slot, which would potentially be like an emergency access key that would need to be utilized here.
So, unless Wilson has another way into it,
Yeah,
I
according
think
to this,
we're looking for...
no, Wilson does have an emergency access key for Wayland Yutani.
But will it work for Wayland?
You're muted, Brent.
Oh, hello.
There you are.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if it'll work, but
You try
I'll
it?
try it. Yeah.
Okay. So it seems to work. You put it in, it opens. Inside is a spotlessly clean room, blinking service data that I mentioned before. Yeah, a single terminal.
Yeah. I'll walk in and shut the door behind me.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk in with you.
No, I'm walking in by myself.
No, I'm walking in with you.
No, you're not.
So
You
if
got
you're
a company card for a reason.
you're kind of fighting about it at the door, do you force yourself through, Miller, or do you
Yes,
listen?
I do.
Okay. So then, Wilson, she is going to try and force the matter. She's wanting to enter into the room. So, go ahead and make strength rolls. I think would probably be the way to go
Out of those.
if we're going into a physical kind of altercation. Okay. So, Miller, you can push. The same is true for Wilson, if you would like.
I'm going to, because this is a matter of, like, safety and figuring out what the hell's going on here.
For sure. So you definitely did just roll a panic dice. So, and got a panic. So panic. I believe that we're rolling some more dice. Because we need to determine what you got for your panic roll. Okay, your current stress level is 1, so roll a d6.
Mm-hmm. Roll straight d6. Okay.
Okay, so it's a total result of 7. Okay, so
Ah, shit.
you develop a nervous twitch in this moment. And your stress level and the stress level of all friendly PCs in short range of you, which would be Wilson, increases by 1.
Would I be friendly since they're considered my
You
rival?
are technically friendly.
Okay.
Technically friendly.
It's a very
Shit
stressful
you do to me,
situation with you two
Wilson.
fighting.
Yep.
Yeah, she's stressing you out. Like, this is definitely, a situation that's not great for you.
Yeah.
But
And his existence stresses me out.
I would say at the end of the altercation, Vanessa is definitely burgeoning through with the double success. because the nervous twitch does not cause their action to end. They're still getting the thing they want done. Unless you are also pushing Wilson.
No, I won't.
Okay, so she is in the room with you. Do you step out and let her do her business, or do you stay with her?
I'll stay with her for now.
Okay. Vanessa, you have access to Mother. You can speak to it at your pleasure.
Alright. Mother, what's the status of this SOS? Why was it initiated?
Bear with me here. That's a great question, but I was looking at the stress and panic, which has no
The fun
answers.
shit.
It has no answers for you. It will say. Bear with me here. That was a really hard question. Undetermined reason, unable to clarify.
What was the ship's status prior to the initiation of the SOS?
Operational.
Were any shutdown procedures or were any shutdown procedures initiated after the SOS was put out?
Yes. Baby cat.
What resources were shut off on the ship when when the SOS was initiated?
All resources were shut down. Only livable systems were left online.
Who initiated?
SOS was initiated by Second Officer Albert Johns.
I'm gonna ask Mother for a dossier list for the crew. They could share that. Who was present on the ship, and when was this SOS sent out?
Unable to give corporate employee files on Wayland employees to a non-company agent.
Okay, when was this SOS initiated?
It states a date that's 70-something years ago.
Okay, so it's not a new SOS. Alright, she's all yours for now. I'll step out because I know this asshole's not gonna do anything while I'm in there.
Okay.
Alright, Bren, you got the floor.
Now, Brent, you can of course ask me questions in the open, or you can send me DMs depending on what your comfortability is. I understand that you definitely have some information that is your own. Obviously, you're an untrustworthy lot, but again, it's your choice. If you want to roleplay it out in the open, I'm fine with that. If you want to DM me, that's also fine.
Wilson will first status of the package.
Undetermined. Currently, there has been a breach.
Status of the science module.
Clarifying. The science module was left on planet LV-113 with a number of members of the crew.
How many members of the crew are left on the ship?
10.
Employment status of the members left.
Officer. Colonial Guard. Medic. Scientist. Company agent. Synthetic. Officer. Mercenary. Hired on. Pilot. Mechanic.
Are we able to restart the ship?
Yes. The ionized plasma drive can be restarted by reactivating the fission generators.
Okay. And I assume we have to do that manually.
Correct.
Excuse me. Let's see. Wilson will ask for the names of the company man and the synth.
Company man's actually company lady.
Oh, company. Okay.
Corporate liaison of the USCSS Cronus is Lori Clayton. Second officer of the USCSS Cronus, currently in command station, is Albert Johns.
Okay. Can we wake them up from cryo?
Yes. Not from here.
Gotcha. Very well. Out of character, John, would I know of like the way that we got back in here with like the company key, is that something that's automatically active, or do I have to manually have her do that, or have Mother do that?
Do what exactly?
Like where you can only come in with the company key.
Oh, you can
Like
turn that off if
emergency?
you want to.
Okay.
You can turn it
I
off
don't.
here.
I was just. Yeah, I didn't want to turn it off. I just wanted to see if it was still active.
Yeah, it's still active.
Okay. Then yeah.
Basically,
Wilson will walk back out.
Miller was allowed to leave, but Miller could not have re-accessed. So
Gotcha.
when you entered in, she let herself in,
Yeah.
and then you let her do her thing. When she was done, she stepped out, and now you are stepping out as well. Vanessa Miller waited for Wilson, or did you go on about your business once you were done with your questions? Muted. Sorry.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I would reconvene with the rest of the crew.
Okay.
Whatever they're doing.
I would say that didn't take terribly long, so you'd get back just as Cham and Rye have finished putting back the ventilation cap on. And during that process, Leia, was there anything that you were doing?
Just wandering the halls up here, seeing if there's like a ship map or something posted up, or
Anything you're wanting to do when you kind of go into the hallway by yourself and get like a quiet moment?
yeah, I mean, my nerves aren't too frazzled, but it might get intense, so I, want to be extra hyper focused. Got a couple of pills left, I'll be fine.
Well, you pop open the container and look inside, and you're right. You have exactly a couple of pills remaining, which is one dose of your drugs. So if you would like to take them now, you can, or you can hold off. And the answer to your question will determine something that will happen to you right now.
Decide not to
You're gonna
take them
hold
quite
off?
yet. I'm gonna try to hold off a little bit.
Gain one stress.
Withdrawals itch.
Scratch next.
Yeah, because you haven't taken any since you woke up from cryo. Yeah, you are very cold turkey right now. Okay.
Coldest of turkeys.
So cold. You reconvene with the group. You would see, Leia coming back around the space after kind of like shuffling around. Didn't look like there was anything of note. Just a long hallway that continues past to the back of the ship.
Yeah. I do want to get that motion sensor or motion. Yeah, whatever it was. I want to get that up and running and see if we get any reads that aren't our own.
Yeah, so far that has been done. Wilson had that going when you first entered in, and there was no motion detected.
Okay. So I guess we're heading to cryo. Wake some bitches up.
Okay. Wilson, you would come out just once they've reconvened. If you want to stay with the group, you can. Or if you want to remain... that did take a little while for you talking. I would say that they're probably on their way to cryo before you come out.
Yeah, once
Go ahead.
I would say once I come out, we'll kind of slowly go towards cryo as well to find the company man or company woman.
Okay. And you would have with the motion tracker, basically it is displaying, because you would have loaded it with the information from your ship regarding the layout of the ship. So you're basically looking at this display, and then there will occasionally be like a ping, ping, and you're seeing the motion that you're
Okay.
tracking.
So it's kind of like an overhead view. I thought it was kind of like I'm hitting it and then
Yeah.
it features next to me.
If you've seen Aliens, like they have like the display, it'll pulse, and then it'll show like little red dots, like sonar almost, right?
Gotcha.
But it's actually magnetic, like X-ray detection, and you have loaded it with the map, so it's showing you where you are on the map as you're moving, and so it's basically pinging off of that. That makes sense?
Yep, perfect.
It's like
Love
a
that.
video game. It's like
Yeah, I'll definitely I'll watch where I'm going, but I'll constantly check it.
So when you get past a certain point, you would notice that there are kind of larger filtration systems kind of up where you're at. And being a captain of a ship, and a couple of you being kind of a bit more tech savvy, you would realize that there's an air scrubber shaft or air scrubber system in this ship. It's an older one, but it's present, and your presumption is that it's somewhere in between these kind of two hallways you're moving through. Then you kind of breach through this bulkhead, you just kind of pop it open. This is a green button that does open. And to the left and to the right, you would see that there are elevators that are kind of present. Very small, simple elevators that will descend up and down through the levels of the ship. And it looks like there is an access terminal in this hallway, as well as an intercom system in this terminal. That would be here. And just so we understand, access terminals are for you to communicate with Mother.
Okay.
Yes.
Then we don't need that yet. And I don't think we need to quite hit comms yet. And it seems
Yeah.
like they're supposed to be sleeping.
Correct.
So let's enter cryo.
Okay. So the main door into this area appears to have claw marks around the edges of the doorway. Like literal, like a bear attacked the door and was able of like tearing through metal around the edges of the doorway. It's almost as if something's trying to scratch its way through the door. It appears that this door is locked from the inside, and the situation would be something that the engineer types would kind of note is going to require a heavy machinery roll to breach. If you're wanting to pop this door to get into the cryo situation, it is locked.
Ask Mother? Give us access.
Hey, that's
to
something
cryo?
I could help
Mother
with.
says it has been manually locked from the inside and cannot be overridden.
All right, let's let our folks get their way in there.
Here, let me have a take a look at that.
Is no one concerned about the large claw marks that's on the entrance of that door there?
Oh no, I'm
I'm never
that's not normal. I mean, whoever's in here might still be in here. Whoever did that.
Which door are we looking
I
at?
mean,
This door
Maybe
here.
somebody tried to open it with a loader.
I was just gonna say, let's not
I'll-
jump to conclusions.
I'll roll a heavy
just
machinery.
Yet. It's suspicious, but
So, who
Heavy
wants
machinery?
to heavy machinery? Yeah. Again, if you want to give it a go, you can. Okay. So, you managed to open the door. I'm getting some background noise. I don't know who it's from.
Yeah, someone's saying "Go Birds."
Go Birds.
Oh, that's probably Lauren. That's Lauren.
That's fine.
Because I hear that bird all the time, and I love him. I love him so much. Little bird.
That's funny. The door opens. It enters into what appear to be three individual doors. The door in question is very similar to the door to your cryo chamber in the Montero, but again, just a bit older. This one doesn't look like it's been touched by claws or anything crazy, so whatever it was didn't get through. Inside of these cryo bays, which open up just fine, the doors are openable from this side. You would see that it does look like most of the cryo beds in the chambers are covered in like complete frost. And inside of them, you can see that there is a group of sleeping crew members, or at least the survivors of the crew. Most of the hypersleep chambers in here, in 1, 2, and 3, are empty. And you're pretty sure 2 of them have corpses in them that look like they've been mummified by decades in just the dry open air. There are lockers in this space. They look like they're filled with the personal gear of the Cronus crew. There is a door on the south of Cryo Chamber 3 that appears to lead to some sort of examination room.
Is there any way to tell who is in which pod before we open it?
Yeah, I would say that the names are probably on the side panels. So you've got second. Again, you can't open each one individually. They all open simultaneously, or they don't open at all.
Okay. So who's in which rooms?
Sure. So it looks like the majority of them are in 1, and that would be Johns, Reed, Flynn, Cooper, and Clayton. And then in room 2, you have Balaji, Pinn, Bain, and Horton. Again, it doesn't tell you what their job is on their name tags on the thing. It just says their name. It would appear that there are a total of 9 individuals. Or sorry, 10 individuals. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 individuals, and then 2 mummified corpses.
Okay. I'm gonna go into 1. Where do we access the cryo to open it?
Sure. So there would be a panel inside of the cryo chambers that allows you to kind of, in the center space, kind of open the room that you're in.
Okay. Before I do that, I'd like to see if I can see the effects in here. Is there any, perhaps, indication in any of these lockers that one of the people in this room is either the captain or part of Weyland-Yutani? I'm just gonna quickly go through lockers until I find.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're looking for kind of information, go ahead and give me a observation roll. And then I want to clarify something I missed. I definitely want to make sure that this was made clear. They're the elevator shafts I mentioned in that hallway. This would have been seen by everybody as they pass by. It looks like elevator 1, which would be the elevator on the left. It appears to be fine. Nothing's wrong with it. It is completely fine. Once power is restored, it will function as normal. But there definitely appears to have been a firefight near there. You can see that on the door and all around the door, there is buckshot kind of like scattered on the ground and kind of slammed into the wall. Elevator 2, it looks like the shaft doors are like skewed and slightly ajar, and the elevator, as far as you can tell, isn't on this level. But if you kind of look into the hole as best you can and look down, it looks like the elevator is on the bottom level, crumpled.
Do you see those slashing marks?
There are no
Like down the elevator.
Oh, down the
like,
elevator shaft? Great
yeah.
question.
Like,
Go ahead and make an observation roll.
Okie dokie. Observation.
I'm kind of hoping you roll a success and a panic. That's too bad. So no successes. Do you want to push it because you're really worried about it, or do you want to just leave it?
Oh, yeah, seeing that front door, like, big slash, they would definitely be worried about it.
Okay,
Go
okay.
push for it.
Well, perfect.
Oh!
So you did exactly the thing I was hoping would happen. You got a success and you panicked. So go ahead and give me a panic roll. So roll a d6.
Jeez.
And then you're going to add 2 to this because your stress level is currently 2.
Okay, so let me do that. So D6. Oh, I just clicked it.
That's perfect. That's a 3 total. So you're keeping it together. You managed to keep your nerves in check. You're kind of, concerned and focused. And as you're staring down there, you do see claw marks that appear to be up the shaft. So you're kind of like,
Oh,
oh.
what the fuck is going on here?
And you kind of take a breath and you're like, it's probably nothing. It's probably just some weird animal or something. I don't know. Fuck it. And you kind of back away.
Mm-hmm.
And if you mention it to the crew members, by the time you see all of that, Miller has moved into Cryo Room 1 after, you'd opened the door for her, and she's on her business.
Oh. Hey, guys, you see
Right,
that?
what's
those
right?
slash
What's
marks?
wrong?
Those slash marks are down there too.
What do
And
you,
you
what do
see
you
those
mean?
bullet marks over there? I think something has happened here. They're shooting at it probably. Maybe.
Would I
Right,
be,
you- Right, you
here
need to
by this
calm
point?
down, brother, sister.
What'd you say,
Calm
Wilson?
down.
Would I be here by this point?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I was just making
This
sure
is
I was catching up.
because they had to stop and fix the door, so you'd basically be walking in just as Rye's having this this moment.
Maybe they're getting raided.
by that big thing that's
Hey.
there.
People
I
have
don't
all
even-
kinds of crazy stuff in space. Bandits will take anything that helps them.
But the slashes like that, I don't think no normal person could do that.
Maybe it's some kind of power
Oh,
thing.
it could have been.
How-
It could have been a. Yep.
Down the
I agree with you
elevator
fully.
shaft, those things too big for
Yeah.
that.
No,
No,
they made a
they
small
don't
one. I
small
mean,
model.
hell,
Mm.
any good engineer could probably make one the size of a human body to fit in.
Okay.
Just enough to
I've-
get
I've-
those balls.
Okay.
I've ran this type
Right.
of machinery personally. I think you just need to calm down.
Maybe
take
it
a deep
wasn't a
breath.
full suit. Maybe they just loaded on an arm to give them the extra strength.
That
Or,
too.
when the elevator broke, could have scratched down the walls.
Maybe they have a cat.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Do you think they have a bigger cat?
Maybe they have a jungle
Okay,
cat.
but Mr.
Big
Man
tiger.
has enough personality for like 100 cats, so
That's
Yeah,
right.
but maybe
Yes.
maybe they need a brother.
The gaslighting of Kayla.
John, can you
I-
do me a favor and message me those names that I asked for?
Sure.
I was gonna write them down, but I forgot them as I was writing them down.
No worries.
So I just bit jumpy for some reason. You're right. I may be overreacting. Okay. Ooh. You're right. You're
Look,
right.
Isn't this more exciting than just being asleep for 2 weeks or however long they were gonna make us take?
That is true. And right, I got your back, buddy. Don't you worry.
Ugh.
Smiles.
You smile at Sham.
alright.
Well, let's just get this over with.
Okay. So, you have the opportunity to activate the Cryo and Cryo 1 or Cryo 2 and open them bad boys up if you want.
Sure. I am going to ready my service pistol because there is some pretty shady shit going on here.
For sure.
But I will initiate Cryo 1.
Okay. So this will open up the ones I mentioned before, which would have been Johns, Reed, Flynn, Cooper, Clayton.
Were there any corpses in this one?
No, the other side, Cryo 2 had the corpse, the 2 mummies. You open up the space, and there is a very long pause as what you know is a kind of process coming out of cryo.
Animation.
It's not something that happens instantaneously. Once you're awake, like even when you're awake, the person's still like going through the motions of figuring out how to motion. But this, you can guess, is probably 1,000 times worse, just due in part to this being record-holding kind of levels. Like in the actual like movie, like Ripley goes 100 some years, and that's the record that they set. But like before that, this seems to be kind of up there in the amount of time someone has actually been kind of in stasis. With that being said, eventually, Officer Johns, kind of, bearded guy, looks kind of, ruggedly handsome, wearing basically his underwear, gets up, kind of looks at you all, sees you have a gun, and kind of just ignores you and walks over to his locker and pulls out his outfit. And he says, "Company send you?"
We received an SOS while en route to our pickup. You mind telling us what's going on here?
We were sleeping.
Well, somebody sent that. Was it? If I remember, it was like the second officer that was sent the SOS.
This, according to what you understand, because it did mention the name of the second officer, Albert Johns. This is Johns Albert, according to the tag on the cryo tank and the tag on the locker. And as he's kind of putting his clothes on, his outfit looks like a. Go ahead.
And that's who Mother told me initiated the SOS.
That's right. He kind of puts himself together, and you'd notice that he pulls a M4A3 service pistol and a key card out of his locker and puts those on his belt. If you're here to save us, let's get to it.
You didn't initiate the SOS.
Oh, I did.
Okay. Why?
We need saved.
From?
And he kind of looks at you, and then you see someone kind of, or you hear someone kind of, and this blonde-headed woman, kind of not too far from it, kind of looks over at him, and he looks at her. Problems. Just problems.
Right.
You haven't run
we
any.
are under
You-
are under instructions to salvage. Is there any chance we can get those loading bays open and bring up our Daisy?
If you can make it down there, sure. And you'd see the blonde-headed woman say, "Oh, that shouldn't be necessary. We should be able to get this ship operational and functional. It shouldn't be an issue."
Yeah, some others said we can restart the ship by turning the reactor back on.
And
If it's
why
that
haven't
simple,
we
why'd
turned-
you use a
Yeah,
distress
exactly.
call?
Huh? Oh, well, it'll need repairs.
And you couldn't do that before?
We were pressed, and you would see someone kind of like make it to their locker and pop that bad boy open and pull out a shotgun, and kind of strap that over their shoulder. The person in question, very, very large, muscular woman, who is putting on her attire, and you can see the old logo of the U.S. Colonial Marine Corps, like a very outdated Colonial Marine Corps logo, but it appears to be kind of like patched onto the uniform in a way that makes you understand it's not like they're an actual member of the Colonial Marines. They're probably a higher security officer who used to be a part of this CM.
All right, I'm sorry. So what exactly do you need help with specifically?
We need to be transported safely to where we're going, which is, he kind of looks over to the woman, and she says, "You're here, you should have proprietary information." And she kind of looks at you and says, "Why is your company logo weird?"
Same
You-
reason yours is. You're a little
Are
out
they
of
are they in the hallway?
They're in the cryo chamber still.
Okay.
What's with the
Sir,
why?
You've been asleep for roughly 70 years. The things have changed in that kind of time.
Oh my, that is. But the company's still operational, right?
Yes.
Oh, great.
It's been through some changes, but yes.
Yeah, the why. What's that about? Oh, did the merger with Utani actually happen?
Yes.
Amazing.
Probably before my time.
And after mine,
No.
I suppose. She smiles, putting on her outfit as she's doing it.
Yeah, alright. So, yep, you need transportation. But you said you could get this ship up and running, so you shouldn't need transportation.
Oh, we needed
once the
someone
ship's
to help us with that. We haven't been able to get that to work. Isn't that right, Officer Johns? He kind of, you know,
I assume your mechanic was one of the 2 dead bodies in Cryo 2.
There are dead bodies in cryo, John says. And
Yeah.
Clinton goes, well, 70 years is quite a long time. I think we probably made a record here with time down in cryo. So,
Does it really count as much of a record to boast about if you're just sleeping?
you take the wins you get, she says. And she looks at Wilson and looks down at his belt and then looks at him. I'm assuming that you were the one sent by the company here?
Yes.
Great. And she'll kind of move over in the room nearer to him. And you'll notice that she, too, when she pulled stuff out of her locker, put a pistol on her belt.
Alright. Well, let's wake up the rest of their crew. And then let's get to helping them with repairs so that we can get the hell out of here.
Oh, a man kind of like one of the other members says, yeah, you came on board. You haven't dealt with any of the spores or anything, right? You haven't removed your suits?
No.
There
Spores?
we go.
Do you plan on elaborating on that?
Clayton kind of turns her head and looks at him.
Is there a point to ask?
Absolutely angry. Well, you'll have to be inoculated.
Inoculated against what?
Well,
the
it's
spores. The spores are what?
it's a horrific disease that was unfortunately found on LV1113.
But if we haven't left our suits, it's
You should be
an
fine.
issue?
Yeah, you should be okay.
Okay.
And it's at that
and
moment.
Yukon should take care of it.
Wait.
Go ahead. Who's somebody saying something?
Does that mean our suits would get contaminated?
Sure. It could mean that. But I would like for everybody to go ahead and roll 5d6. This is an oxygen roll.
5d6. Is there a custom?
Okay. If
And
you
you
rolled a 1, that means your oxygen drops by 1. It cannot drop by more than 1. It can only drop by 1. But if at this point you rolled a 1, you have been absolutely like kind of breathing, kind of moving a bit faster than you should be, etc. And you have sucked down 1 unit of oxygen in your suit.
Makes sense.
Oh,
I
okay.
did have a fight with.
I did work on a couple things.
Yeah.
I've just been
I did.
leisurely going through here. I didn't mean to roll it a second time.
Somebody's going through.
I didn't mean to
did- I-
succeed at it a
I-
second time. You
Yeah.
fucking cocky bitch. Yeah, the spores. Well, he pulls out these metal kind of syringes and kind of holds them out. If you want, you can inoculate yourself against it, just in case. But if not, we have spares. They were for the rest of the crew.
What's the shelf life on those? 70 years?
Shakes his head. They've been. He kind of looks at them. They've been fine. There's. I don't think there's any life on them. There's nothing biological in it.
Do they work after exposure?
I suppose they would. It hasn't been tested yet.
Then we'll wait until after. We'll wait to see if we need them. I think our suits are fair enough right now. Wouldn't we just be risking exposure if we were to remove our suits to get an inoculation?
I suppose that's true, but it doesn't look like there are any signs of anything here. Have you been anywhere else in the ship that has had anything?
We have been.
You are
to
the second
Mother
stop.
and- Yep, here.
Okay, well then it should be fine.
Are you inoculated?
I am.
Well, then I guess you're the test.
Well,
Is
everybody
Yeah.
here is.
Well, I guess you're all the test.
Yeah,
Okay.
the station works. But in the meantime, I do think that maintaining our highest level of biosecurity is probably the priority, which would be maintaining our suits, our barrier. PPE,
Sure.
you went through that training. Ooh, did they have that training back 70 years ago?
John says, I must have skipped it. I'm not the actual commander of the ship. I took charge when nobody else was willing to. He looks at Clayton again.
What happened to your command?
I don't think I'm at liberty to talk about it, but long story short, we had to leave them planet side with the science module.
Oh,
Ooh.
well,
Hmm.
that's
Well, again, to reiterate, let's get your ship up and running so we can all get the hell out of here.
I appreciate the take charge attitude. I'm not a captain. I wasn't trained full officer training. I really appreciate it if you just take charge on this one.
hey, Mr. Not in Charge. What did you guys do to these elevator doors?
What's that?
Hey, if you come with me. Come
Big
to
woman looks at you and says, "No, yeah, we were in a bit of a squabble."
with what like a power
A
like you had a
pistol's been
power arm, you had
discharged. Yeah. If a pistol or any weapon has been discharged on board, I do believe any officer present is supposed to be aware of that. So
Well,
anybody's
do you have
just fine.
some
John's a look at you. I'm not saying you're in charge of the ship, ma'am. I'm just saying you're in charge of the situation. And he looks over at Clayton, and she kind of looks at you and says, "The virus, the spores, they cause a situation in individuals where they become erratic, insane, and Miss Reed will tell you, pointing to the security officer, her and others defended us as we backed away into the cryo chambers, hard locked the doors, sealed ourselves inside. That is when Officer Johns put out the distress beacon. And after 73 years, I hope they've already died."
Leia will put with the flamethrower, like the actual gun part of the flamethrower resting on her shoulder, be like, "Is there any other important news you want to have us drag out of you instead of volunteering it? I mean, seems like you're really reluctant to share viruses and crazy
good
As
people
point.
on
far
the
as
ship."
I'm aware,
very
I
good point.
have
Yeah,
a
this is-
functional ship, and you do not, and you need us to get your ship functional, correct?
I don't believe that company policy might have changed in 73 years, but I don't believe you have a ship. I believe you are the one who's been put in charge of a Wayland ship. So
I
your
am in
attitude
charge
is
of a Wayland
noted, and I will make sure that it is logged and understood. Miss
Be real
Miller.
tough to make a report when you're back in a cryopod.
Yeah, don't talk to my
Reed kind of steps forward and like stands in front of Leia and says, "Don't go making any threats you can't, follow up on." And she says this as she kind of swings the shotgun in front of her.
Alrighty. I just back it up.
I guess it's gonna be a situation, huh?
Oh, sorry, it would have been Leia, not Rye. Sorry. So just like steps in front of Leia and like pulls the shotgun down and like kind of looks at you. John says, "We don't need all that fucking shit, okay? Yeah, we're gonna be closeted with the stuff that we got, okay? We were on a very specific mission. Miss Clayton will release what she's willing to release. It's Wayland shit. You guys ought to know this. It's probably the same fucking way in the future. Nothing changes based on you having this asshole, and you probably have your own problems. Just stop fucking around. We need to save as many people as we can here, okay? I'd highly suggest the inoculation if you are up for it. It seems to have worked for us. If you're planning on going to the vehicle bay, like you said, to try and get your loader onto it," Clayton looks like she's going to pipe up, and Johns kind of looks at her. "That's great. On the way down, if you could take our mechanic, who's in the other room, Horton, should be able to help you get the fission reactors back online."
Yeah, I don't think we need to do a salvage. If the ship can be brought back online, it is its own salvage at that point. So we're just gonna wake you guys up. We're gonna go down there. We're gonna turn your systems on, and we're gonna get the fuck out of here.
That's more than fair. And Clayton says, "I'm sorry. What was your name?" Walks over to Wilson.
John Wilson. And he'll reach his hand out to shake her hand.
Yeah, she shakes your hand very firmly. Do you mind if I speak to you for a moment?
Sure.
Yep, and she kind of walks over to the side with you and kind of pulls up her data tab, kind of moving you into Cryo Bay 3 where nobody else is, and kind of shows you her display, and it shows specific tagging for something called Order 966, I believe is the numbers, which she says, "Are you aware of this?"
Yes.
Good. Okay, well then I hope that you're on, line to help and assist in this.
As best as I can.
Okay, so you understand the importance of what's on board.
Yes, I tried to speak to Mother, but she's been down for a while.
Yes. Well, I'm assuming that it mentioned a breach.
Yes.
Yes. The comments in the other room weren't exactly accurate. I suppose in a sense they're true. I need you on board. I need you to be certain that whatever it takes, this ship needs to make it to Sutter's World.
I would do the best I can to do that.
Perfect. Then we will do what we can for the company. And
Indeed.
she'll smile brightly, and we'll move back into the other room. Miller, if you kind of move into the other room to wake the other passengers, certainly opt to do that. So that people who wake up on your side, there was Flynn, that was the medic who was trying to inoculate you all. There was a guy who kind of kept to himself quietly over in the corner and just didn't say anything. It looks like he was fucking around with a data tablet, checking something while everybody was talking. There was Reed, who was the big lady with the shotgun. And then there was Johns, who's the currently the commander of their ship. And then there was Clayton, of course. When we awaken the other people on the other side, there is another officer who... this is not here. There is a very interesting divide on these sheets, and I'm annoyed by it. They don't have a mechanic. The mechanic is the dead one. There's nobody in Cryo Bay 2. Sorry. That is really dumb. That is really dumb the way that it's written. I see now how stupid it is. There is a third ship, though, and that's who those other people are supposed to be. Balaji, Pin, Bane, and Horton. Remove them from your minds. And when I said 10, I meant 6.
So just the people in Cryo 1.
Correct.
Okay. So no wonder why they needed us. They don't have a mechanic.
Correct.
Well, Kayla, looks like you got your work cut out for you.
But I guess that.
Oh, great.
Fucking
Do I get
third
paid more
ship.
for this? Do I get paid more for this?
So which... Unfortunately, that's up for Waylon Yutani to decide.
Clayton.
They may or may not.
If Clayton overhears this as you're kind of moving back into the room, she says, "Yes, there'll be bonuses involved."
Oh, okay, I'm in.
Hey, Rag, don't you worry. I got your back. I'll help you with anything you need.
Is
Just
the door
so long-
open
Yeah,
for examination
Always count
room?
on you.
Just so long as you perform your duties unquestioningly, she says as she kind of pointedly looks at Miller. And there's like a moment where, bitch, and you're like, bitch?
I think at that time, in
Fucking
kind of
roasting
parallel
my-
to how
Mm.
the security lady stood in front before, I will now stand in front of Miller again
Okay,
with the flamethrower resting on the shoulder.
I love it.
Mm.
Okay, dope. I'm
All right,
trying to
which
move
one
this.
of you wants to escort us to your problem?
Clayton will say, "I have business with Mother. I might have
Sure you do.
need for assistance," she says, is looking over at Wilson. but I can go by myself if you have other business.
I'll come with
wish
you.
to
My
do.
card's more updated. She might provide more information that way.
Okay.
All right, Wilson. If you're going to hang out with her, please give us the motion sensor.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
already know the layout up here.
I have no real reason to keep it.
Hands it over.
Okay. So I'll carry it for now.
We're gonna have to choke on
Hope
any
you get down
spores.
there faster.
Yeah, get the work
You
done.
do the same.
The rest of the crew, like I said, the elevator is not currently working because of the power being down.
Yeah.
You would note, based on the setup, and also you would have seen it from Junction A1 when you first
Junction
entered.
2.
Stairwell in the center of the ship.
Ah, okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll head up there then.
Junction A2 could also be utilized. Junction A1 does have a ladder that descends, but currently that bulkhead is sealed shut.
Mm-hmm.
Like the ground middle space. When you get to the stairwell door, it appears to be locked, but it appears to be locked from your side. So similar to how Cryo was sealed off from the inside of Cryo, this appears to be sealed off from the inside of Deck A.
I believe I can help with that.
So where exactly are we heading to on the next deck down?
Sure. If you're taking Junction A1, you'll be landing on Junction B1. If you take the stairwell, you'll be in stairwell.
Okay. But we are trying to head towards where?
The reactor core.
The reactor core.
Basically, the
Oh, right here.
it's on deck. The reactor access, the relay control, it's located on Deck C.
Okay.
Located here.
Alright. This is stuff I could ask whoever is escorting.
Are we fixing this door? Or?
Oh, the door you can pop open. Like I was saying, it's like the door on Cryo, but it's locked from your side, so it's not a heavy machinery to pop it. You're basically just throwing the deadlock. You know what I mean? All right. So if you want to move down, you can go through stairwell or Junction B1. If you wish to attempt to see if Junction A2 works, you can go in the back area of the examination room. I will say that a couple of the individuals who are awakened will be going back that way and will be that's where they get their clothes. It's also where they'll eventually take a shower.
Okay.
And the Dr. Flynn will stay in the examination room there.
Alright. Well, whoever is escorting us, you said that they're just going to peel off from us?
Reed will stay with you.
Okay.
Johns will follow you. Like, it seems like he's okay with you taking the lead on this, Miller. But Reed seems to be a bit more kind of determined when it gets down to it.
So once we get down to Deck B, where is the closest access to Deck C if we take the stairwell? Is it straight down again?
If we go straight down the stairwell, we can get to Deck C as long as nothing I'm aware of has happened. Nothing's changed. And then it's just a couple...
Same thing with Junction 2, correct? It can go straight down to C.
Junction 2 could go straight down to C, yeah. Except he kind of shakes his head. No. And Reed says, yeah, we can't go through Junction A2. We sealed it. We welded it shut.
Well, I got a cutter on me. I can cut it.
Then I guess we have an option, she says.
Might be faster.
I mean, wouldn't it be the fastest way to the reactor core to go straight down Junction 2?
Well, excusing the cutting, that might take an hour or so. If we just walk across the ship, it'll take less time.
I mean, it's fair.
All right. I think
Hey,
it's best to take the stairwell. Get this out of the way quickly.
I know I shouldn't really ask too many questions, but why'd you seal it?
Oh, again, the people we were shooting at.
People.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
So you head down the stairwell?
Yeah, I think we're going to take the stairwell down.
Okay. And that would be Captain Miller, Cham. Who else?
Yeah.
I would follow.
Okay.
Yeah, Kale has to come because we need a technician down here.
Well, you'd also note that Deck B is also where the bridge is located. So you could definitely go there and check on the ship functions and see if it's something you can even pilot. But let's discuss Deck B.
Yeah.
We're doing great, by the way, on time. You're all doing wonderful work. Stairwell. Where that stairwell? So when you get to the stairwell and start to make your way down, the I see you. The situation is where is it? Where the fuck is it? The situation is a bit different than when you were upstairs. The thing that you'll notice is that the walls in some patches and areas near to you appear to have this very strange kind of black mold-like substance all over the walls. If you've ever had black mold or any kind of mold in a house, it would probably be close to that, unless you've had like a crazy exposure to black mold. It's not that level. It's basically like, oh no, I gotta get the bleach out kind of situation.
The mildew,
Yeah.
the mildew
Yeah.
on the sides of the wall.
I was gonna say, would you lose your cleaning crew or?
Yeah, so it's not like holy shit. It's kind of like a ew, like on the wall at this juncture at this specific location. From the stairwell, you have one exit out
Don't
that
touch it.
leads you to the hallway. And in the hallway, you'll see at the far end, on the right side from where you exit, so the right side of the map, there is an intercom system and a door. According to the display mapping, that leads to a wash closet, or a shitter. To the left, it looks like there are a series of doors, and those appear to be, according to your mapping, storage and the armory.
Yeah, let's hit up the armory.
Bear with me here. I forgot to put
Hey, wouldn't hurt,
down,
Kevin.
So you got John.
You know, in case the spores get one of us, whatever.
And you got Reed.
In case we run into their cat.
Oh, I was not supposed to show that to you. Hold on.
Oh, hi.
Deleted.
I'm reading all
delete.
of it.
No, you close it. Close it.
Okay.
I'm a bad dungeon master, or whatever they call it. Oh, mother. I am the game mother. I forgot. I am mothering.
Hello, mother.
Thanks, game mommy.
Excellent mom.
Game mommy.
Game mommy. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Game mommy.
So Reed and
Let's
Johns.
Let's be real. Reed is the real game mommy here. Muscle mommy.
Indeed. From your position here, there are also access points that lead up towards Junction B1 and up towards the bridge. And then to the south, there are tunnels or passageways that lead south to the southern side of the ship, or the aft side of the ship. And you could head that way if you wish.
I don't suppose Reed and what's his face? I'm already forgetting his name.
Johns.
John.
The other guy there.
Johns. This
Would
is an
they,
easy way to remember it.
Yeah.
Would they want to
Goddamn
stop by
John.
the
There's
armory
three
in
of
case
us.
we come across any of their friends? If they're still around?
She says she's looking around. She's got her shotgun up, and there's a light on it, so she's kind of like keeping that. Because remember, there's kind of like ground lights, like as if you were like leaving a theater, right? And it's dark in here, but she's got her light. And she's kind of flaring it around. she looks like she's on the ready. John's, on the other hand, is just following you, doing whatever you do. Effectively, he has switched from whatever happened upstairs with him being like kind of like forward to kind of puppy dog mode at this point.
And actually,
when he's in the absence of the corporate wench.
Yeah, he is very much just a second officer. Like he is the most he is the most Jonathan Frakes coded person that's ever
Beta
lived.
male.
there's actually
he's-
4
he
Johns
puts
in
his
this
leg up.
game. Thank you. I'm an honorary
puts his-
John.
Yeah.
He puts his
Hey,
leg
they-
up and plays jazz. Is that what you're saying?
Never happened.
Anyway,
Never
He made it up.
baby.
Made it up.
Considering the story
Never
we've
happened.
heard, I think if you will allow, I would like to possibly arm myself with something more than just a,
Sure. Yeah.
commissioned pistol.
Oh no, for
So
certain. That's fine. The armory is
let's
just
go to
that
the
way.
armory, and if
Well, she'll say that the
Let's
have-
access to the armory specifically will be on kind of the north side. The access
okay. Let's
ports on the southern portion of it are a bit wonky, she would say. It's mostly just storage. And then she would
Okay.
note, that armory storage casing, there should be escape pods as well.
should be. Is that
Mhm.
what these are supposed to be? These
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's
Head on
Let's
in.
head on
So
into this
when
armory.
you get inside, you would the mold on the tunnelway that you're kind of walking through kind of has an immediate and kind of noticeable change. It appears as though the bear with me here. My stuff. There are individual escape pods that are embedded in the kind of northern wall of this space, in the vestibule. But it appears to be the case that they were both fired. There are no current escape pods present.
I'll reiterate that to
Oh.
Reed, who told me that they should be there.
You would also note that there appears to be more of the strange mold all over this space, but there does not appear to be a ventilation shaft in here. So you're pretty sure that this space, with the weird kind of closets to the south, the storage containers to the south, and that nature, this could serve as a pretty defensible, these vestibules could serve as a pretty defensible location. Yeah, and you're still in your suits, so no problems there. I would say that in the armory, you would be able to find 2 shotguns and an M4 1A. Oh, sorry, no, it's not an M4 1A. Sorry, it is actually older.
A1?
A1 or M4 1A. It's the Wayland Storm Rifle. The stats for it are identical to an M4 1A pulse rifle, but it is a heavy weapon, and it has 1 reload. And sorry, when I said 2 shotguns, those aren't here. She has one of them, and someone else has the other. There is a case of shotgun shells present here, though, and she'll take those.
All right. Jam, you seem to like your heavy stuff. You want to carry that one? I can grab one of the shotguns.
There's
Sure,
also-
I'm willing to help the crew out as
also
best I can.
splatter all over the ground and wall that appears to be kind of like a milky white substance that's stained on the walls.
So
And
synth
points
plug.
at it.
That's
That's not
nasty.
normal.
Yeah,
That's not normal.
It almost looks like someone was gooning in here. No, it does look like synth blood. That you did nail it on the head.
I mean,
You would see Reed kind of
since
scratch her
it's been
head.
around for over 70 years, I'm sure we're aware of them.
Well, I don't think Eva made it. She says, or Ava made it. She says to Johns, and Johns kind of shakes his head. Fuck.
Sorry about your synth, but
That's fine.
I think, yeah.
It's not like we lost
All
a
right, we
person.
You may not want to say that in this day and age.
Oh, things changed, huh?
Like I said, some things have changed.
I mean, you could definitely like they were saying that the there was the David program and a bunch of other synths that were coming out in our time. They were pretty close to human. I mean, hardly very difficult to tell the difference between a person and but they just were off, like they didn't seem.
Yeah, they seem a bit weird. I've heard about them.
Yeah, Ava was
They have their
definitely a strange cat. John says, and Reed would say, "Yeah, still sucks to see her go."
So they did lose their cat.
No.
Anyway. Alright,
Synth
I think
cat.
it's best to keep moving though. We don't want to spend too much time in here. So
Okay.
we're heading to what we said.
Did you put the
Down
gun
to
in the?
B2.
Oh, I can.
Okay.
Who wants it?
I was gonna get it.
Is everybody okay with that?
Him.
All right,
He
nobody's
seems very
fighting
comfortable.
him for it.
Nope. Does
Okay.
anybody want the other
Good.
shotgun?
There was only. I think there was no shotgun, right?
There was
two
no shotgun,
shotguns.
sorry.
Oh, there's no shotgun.
Oh.
Yeah,
The,
there's
the two
someone-
the two shotguns should have been there. Reed has one of them. Someone else has the other.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
shotgun
Yeah,
there.
I
So
said
it's
it.
just the rifle.
Yeah, there was
Mhm.
there were slots for them. Is what I should have said.
Okay, I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
The RMAT
I
M4
misinterpreted
1A pistol or pulse rifle has been added to your sheet. I do want to make sure it's clear. It is not an RMAT M4 1A pulse rifle. It is
Sure.
a Wayland storm rifle. So the difference between it and that is it is a heavy weapon, meaning that you cannot carry it like easily and just kind of like run around with it all willy-nilly. The cutting torch is not
So
heavy,
I'm-
so you should be fine.
I'm significantly slow. Is
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah. You kind of have a big. It's like a big gun.
Gotcha.
Mm.
So I'm like walk around like this. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Just remember not to get in their way if they have to use it. That's the thing.
Mhm.
Alright.
Oh.
So we're heading towards Junction B2 to
Okay.
then finish our descent, correct?
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Alright, let's head out.
Yep.
So you'll walk past a couple of locations, but before we get through to the tunnelways, I want to clear upstairs with Wilson a bit. So she enters into Mother with you, Wilson, and she would say to you, well, they seem to be getting the ship ready for transport, so we should be fine. This seems to be going over perfectly. How confident do you feel in your crew will be able to manage this?
I'm sure they can get the ship running, but getting them to follow along and follow this ship instead of the other will be difficult.
Well, we could try and just remove the other ship from the equation.
That would probably be best.
Okay. Well, if we want, we can just go and sever the umbilical while they're down there, and that should solve the problem quite nicely, don't you think?
I do. That would probably be best, yeah.
Okay. Well, I suppose we should come up with a cover story as to why that's the case. What do you think would be a good idea? A rogue asteroid? Some other lie?
Maybe jarring of the ship would probably be...
Perfect. Well, if we wait and time it perfectly, we could say that when they power up the reactor and we see it go live, we could say that the reactivation of it caused the engines to slightly shift, and then the detachment would seem natural to them.
I think that works out perfectly, yeah.
Well, then we'll just wait up here for that then. And that's where we'll close that segment and go back downstairs. Everyone downstairs. Tom's like, I hate this game. I hate this game. I don't like this game.
Yep, I'm just like
I said, I
did
should have
it.
shoved that
I
bitch back in the
didn't
freezer.
hear this.
Can't
I
believe
didn't
I'm
hear
alright.
this.
I believe.
Good lord.
Ah!
Oh.
Game is fun. Game is great. And what's funny is it's
Oh
not even
my.
the only. It's not the only iron in the fire. So
I
if you
have to
descend
remember,
down,
Vanessa is not me.
if you descend down on the west side, there is a door that leads to what appears to be a corporate chamber or suite, and there is a secure door on it, so it looks like it would be another kind of emergency card situation for a corporate officer, and that's not you.
No, but John's has one.
Yep, and then I'll revert back to upstairs for a second. If we have any problems, we can find our way to the corporate suite on deck B. I have an emergency escape pod located within, and if we need to get away from anyone who isn't willing to work for the corporation precisely, we can go ahead and relinquish ourselves and escape in that manner.
That would be perfect. How confident are you in John's?
John's is a problem element, to be sure. When we left LV-1113, the situation was quite dire. A number of individuals had become infected. The inoculation that was created by a cooperation between Cooper and Flynn seems to work quite well. However, another exposure was found on LV-113 other than the neomorphic pods that we were studying. Unfortunately, an individual succumbed to the transformation inside of the science module, causing a number of our scientists to be infected, compromised, and physically harmed. After that matter, we decided to remove ourselves from the element and position ourselves on board the ship. Johns became irritated. We were unable to save anyone in the science module, and because of our delay, he believed we allowed more people to die. When he finally took action as second officer and commanding officer after the demise of the original captain, he detonated the science module against my desires and took off. Unfortunately for us, it seemed that a couple of the individuals who we believed were inoculated did not seem to have been and were able to slip past, which is why we had extras. It's why Flynn was able to pass out some. I believe there are around 4 or 5 individuals on board the ship besides Ava that were not amongst the number that we had determined were inoculated and safe. We defended ourselves against them as they lost control of their senses and seemed to create abominative statures. We sealed ourselves away, and then you came along. Cut back downstairs. You pass by the corporate suite. The other individuals, do you want to go down the other hallway? You are.
You mean the eastern hallway?
Yeah.
I'm good to continue going straight towards Junction B2, but if anybody else wants to take the other hallway,
Reed and Johns, Johns is following Miller. Like that's 100%. But Reed is definitely going down that passageway.
Okay.
Should I lead? It should.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the look.
Okay, what the? Because he's got a big gun now. You should probably lead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big gun. Does anybody want to go with Reed? Not you, Kayla.
Right.
You gotta stay.
Yeah.
You gotta stay with us. Who else would that be? Sorry, there's too many Johns in this chat.
No, understandable.
No, it's not enough.
I'm gonna ask a question of Leia real quick. We've had a lot of tense standoffs, and we're also moving into a situation where it's kind of weird. Do you stop for a second, look into your pill jar, and pop them, or do you try and hold off longer?
I think after dealing with that awful corporate lady and her goons, I would probably take my last dose.
Go ahead and relieve 1 stress.
Also,
Oh, is that-
bearing in mind that there is a med lab on this ship.
Yeah, there sure is.
I've been eyeballing that since we got here.
Okay. So if you're all moving down the western path, you kind of come into the living area. And I am currently going to that read up here. It's pretty standard. I mean, there are small bedrooms. It doesn't look like a lot of personal effects are present within. It looks like the living area is basically it's the kind of the in between time. If the ship, this is a ship that actually lands, so they actually do spend some time awake and conscious and like working and active.
What's that? Is that Nintendo 64?
Yeah, there,
Oh,
Sega Genesis.
there are small effects. It's so old.
Dreamcast 3? Wow, the future is wild.
But does anybody want to break away from that? Nobody was following Reed. Nobody wanted to go to the bridge by themselves. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm not.
I mean,
don't
I guess-
really want to Scooby do this too much because it seems like they're not being honest about the level. of
Absolutely not.
Well,
Nope.
Your caution is making me sad, but I guess it's not about my enjoyment. It's about you folks. You kind
Don't worry,
folks
John.
who
Don't worry.
Give me your patronage every month. You do what you want.
Oh,
Listen,
I just need a few more minutes, John. Just a few more. We're almost there.
All right.
Chom
Yeah.
is more just worried about.
We're just gonna
these
keep
are
heading
now.
down this way.
For sure, for sure. Okay, so the living.
It's like
Go ahead. Oh,
I was
okay.
gonna say
So I see
Chom.
the med
Chom
lab,
would
but what's
walk
this
over.
little? Is
And,
this like a health, like a? first
Sure.
aid
So there's
kit
a
or something?
legend just below that map, and so
I
that
do.
specific area is a med kit. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So the
Sorry, I'm a
living,
little zoomed in now.
the living area, the crew quarters. These rooms are all either locked tight, ransacked, or smell like. Well, you can't smell anything. You're in your helmets. There are random personal items of worth that could be found here, like that Nintendo 64. But the Cronus crew does appear, like John's and Reed, do appear to be kind of watching you as you kind of go through that shit.
oh, okay. Never mind. They came through.
Yeah,
Then I would be here,
for sure, for sure. Baby cat, I really need you to stop, okay?
or actually here.
You
I was gonna check the hallway to see if they came through.
John's is with us, but I thought Reed. split
Reed
up
went
with us.
the other way, but eventually came through to your side. So
That's what I was waiting to check.
for certain.
Okay.
Okay, so the crew quarters, like I said, it's a hot mess, and yeah, they don't look like they'd be too happy if you were to start looting their shit. All right, so then we continue on to the med lab. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Leia certainly does. I mean, other people may want to just hurry to the core.
You open the door.
Leia just sprints right past everybody.
Inside there are two Pauling med pods, which are basically like auto doctors, but like older style. One has its plexiglass tube splintered and shattered, as if something broke out of it. The other is sealed and lit from within, but the entire inner surface of the plexiglass is covered in thick, dried blood. There is a row of large specimen jars. Floating within two of them are two small alien creatures.
In the med lab.
That's all great, but where's the actual medicine at?
that's not what he
Also, I
was looking for. The
I do
pills.
want to ask.
Yeah, the-
Go ahead and make an observation roll.
Does
And then, sorry, go ahead, Miller.
does the rest of the is the rest of the crew aware that Leia's been checking her pill bottle?
I would say no.
I've been lingering back.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. It's like
You're close to her,
Alright.
so I can give you an observation roll.
okay.
If I saw, they wouldn't care.
Failed
Yeah.
the first time and then pushed, of course.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, looking around, you do not find much, but eventually you find something. Personal medkits, surgical instruments. Go ahead and roll d6. Roll it
Just
three,
one?
3 times.
3. Okay.
Okay. You find 3 doses of Never Sleep pills, 6 doses of hydration, spelled with an 8 where the A goes, and 2 doses of nap relief. Never Sleep is basically what you think it is. It's like super caffeine pills, right? I will pull this and then show this. So Never Sleep, you pop them, you stay awake, your stress level goes up. Hydration, it removes dehydration from hypersleep. You've already ate and drank beforehand. You could hand it to the people who might need it. Nap relief is gonna help you get to, be very, very calm. And overdoses could cause problems. Any questions regarding what you've acquired?
I will take all of the Never Sleep pills, of
Yeah.
course. I will
When
also
you say,
take
sorry, when you take, you mean you're going to acquire, not like physically.
acquire. Yes, yeah, not yet. It's
Take can mean a lot of things in this context.
yeah. Sorry, my bad. Clearly, I am not as much of a connoisseur as Lee. Also, pocketing one of the nap relief, and then returning to the group with the hydration and the remaining
Nap relief.
nap relief.
Okay.
There's also some other weird stuff that's probably not going to be useful to us, and we probably don't want to open those pods.
What's in the pods?
Well, there's nothing in one of them, and I think in the second one, somebody blew up.
Jam will step in.
Someone
Yeah.
blew up.
That's above my pay grade. He walks out.
Same.
So, underneath the desk, you would find a med kit case that seems to have the Wayland logo on it, and on it, it also has a notice that says Dracona strain. And it seems that if you open it and look inside, there are 6 of the same syringes that the one guy had, that appear to be kind of like perfectly stored in like a cold container. And it appears that, according to what you can find note-wise in the room, this is the cure for the infection of neomorphic motes found on LV1113.
All right. I would absolutely love to pocket those.
Okay. Yeah, it's a case, so you just take that.
Yeah, I'm also going to note that if anybody takes any of the medication found on the station, it has been exposed to whatever is here. So if you are going to take any of this medication in the future, definitely inoculate yourself at the same time, because you will have to expose yourself to this environment and also expose yourself internally to something that has been in this environment.
Yeah, you would have had to pop your lid to kind of like eat those pills, by the way. So that has happened.
Leia will be like, yeah, that's why you're the captain.
And that's a great and interesting point, and an awesome point for us to stop for a second. Everybody roll a number of dice equal to your current level of oxygen.
I don't know what that is.
Did you lose any oxygen on the last one?
I did lose one.
Air.
So then it's 4.
Oh,
Okay.
Fucking hell.
damn.
You did not lose a number equal to the number of ones you rolled. You just lost 1. So Leia...
No, well, yeah.
Yeah. Leia rolled 3d6 or something else. Got it.
Oh, okay.
But if you roll a 1 now, you're going to lose another level of oxygen.
We can't win. We can't win.
Leia, I am going to say, because you decompressed and popped the pills, you're going to lose
I was gonna
2.
I was gonna say, if freaking Wilson rolled another perfect score.
Yeah.
Listen,
It's rigged. Rigged. This is a capitalist nightmare.
She this is actually a point in time because you have been rooting around for a little while. Clayton will say to Wilson, they've been rooting around down there for a while. Do you trust them if they find sensitive material to not explore it? Or are they inquisitive?
It really depends on what the material is.
We should get down. She says we should get down there. I'm going to go ahead and set up a situation that when the reactor core turns on, it'll detach the umbilical cord, and then we'll make our way down.
Perfect.
Go ahead and do me a favor and make a... I'm going to say it's going to be a heavy machinery roll. Obviously, you're not very good at it, but go ahead. Okay, you're good enough at it. You set it up to... You set it up. It's rigged. And do you want to take any flourishes on it? Like, is there anything you want to add to the process? Like, is there anything you want to say happens when it happens? Because you have an extra success, so you can kind of make a flourish here.
Maybe it like breaks in the door so it can't be opened again.
Dope.
If that's possible.
Okay. Solid. So we'll keep that in mind when the reactor cores turn back on. The umbilical cord will pop.
While after our illustrious captain's observation, Leia will ask, like, did they keep the... There's a lot of stuff on the walls down here. Do they just still have the inoculation syringes back upstairs?
I'm gonna just shake my head and hand you one of the syringes.
Do we bring them?
No, she found a case of 5 of them.
No.
She pops it open
6.
and hands you one.
There were 6.
6, sorry, you're right.
Yep.
5 now. 5 now.
Now there's 5.
They're 5 upstairs is what I... Yeah.
I'm gonna add that to my gear.
Is there, like, instructions here? What are we...
It's a big syringe, and Reed will kind of walk over to you and says, Doctor said to jam it into your leg. She kind of helps you, and you kind of unpatch that portion of the leg, allowing you access, but also exposing you to air. Slam. Push.
Won't be the first or last time, or even 10th time.
You are now inoculated.
Whatever that means.
While
We got
that's,
another test subject.
while that's happening, again, they tested it. It works.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. They said it
They
worked.
said it worked.
I'm just trying
Well,
to maintain
right.
our PPE as much as possible.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody else want to check out anything else inside of the med lab?
Are there any
Like,
oxygen
the med-
canisters
the
or
med-
anything in there?
The med pods were already looked at. That's the
There
one alien and the...
There are not any oxygen canisters inside of this space, but you would have saw back in the storage area near the armory that the vessel on the other side had EVA suits. Or EVA suits, extravehicular activity suits.
And I'm assuming that there is some kind of monitor that I know my oxygen level is not great at this moment.
Yeah, I would say it's currently, 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say with the leg expression, you'll have the next time we roll, you'll get an auto failure. So, you're pretty sure it's bad.
Should probably head back and swap suits just to be safe, because I been a little stressed. A lot of heavy breathing.
Don't go alone. Don't go alone. Reed, would you be able to?
Yeah, I can go with him. Oh, with her?
Okay.
And she'll kind of head with you. After helping you with the leg, you kind of get up. Your leg feels a bit numb, but then there's like, as you're kind of moving, there's like a vibrancy that's kind of present. Like you.
Oh yeah.
Don't send me cute DMs.
New drugs.
you kind of have this moment where you're kind of like, it feels like your leg is kind of like very vibrant. Like if you've ever had your leg fall asleep, and then like it gets that kind of like sparkly feeling. It feels like that, but not numb.
Leia is loving that.
That's great. I love that. I love sensations.
Do I really only need 1 dose?
Reed kind of looks at you very curiously as you kind of make your way back that way. She leads you past the mess hall, though.
Does it need a booster?
And
It's a pre-booster series, right?
Yeah, when you pass by the mess hall, you would see that it looks like the food stores have been ravaged. It looks like a pack of rabid raccoons have fucking just absolutely just made their descent into madness in that space. Um, it looks like all of the food stores are rotten, covered with mold. There's kind of that growing kind of mold present in the space. It looks like there are origami animals made out of metallic paper that are kind of all over the room. You don't know what that's about. And like I said, there is mold, but nothing crazy. And it also doesn't look like the same kind of mold as the mold on the tunnelways. This kind of has like a green kind of like bread mold kind of look, not the black kind of exterior mold.
Looks like the crew that didn't sleep had a party.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was considering checking out to see if there was anything worth salvaging in there, but I didn't want to do it while you were heading the way you were going. If you want, we can stop for a second and check it out, or get you into that other suit.
Look at the monitor. Yeah, we probably got a few minutes. Sure.
Sure. Go ahead and make another observation roll. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't appear to be anything of note in this space. There is an intercom system and an access portal, but other than that, it's kind of simple.
Guess you leave folks alone for 70 years. They eat you out of house and home.
As you finish doing that and head into the main hallway, Wilson, would you and the other corpo head down the stairwell or the junction B? Ladder or steps? Which one would you do?
Probably steps.
Okay, so you'd be coming out of the stairwell on B at this point, basically having done what you've done upstairs, traitor, and coming out here with
He's very loyal to his company. Excuse you.
Clayton. And so you would actually run into Reed, and Reed would actually like pause for a second and go, "Hold on," and then she would say, "Who's there?" And then you would hear Clayton go, "It's me, Reed," and then she'd kind of go, "Oh, okay," and then you guys can regroup if you want. Wilson, Leia, Wilson.
And I'm just like, hey.
The rest of the crew's down there by the core, but I think the suit from our ship, not great, so I was gonna swap up here.
I mean,
Of course.
if you've already taken the suit off, then wouldn't it be just more simpler to be without a suit? Just take one of the vaccines?
Oh, I already did that, but, something
Well, what's the point
explosive.
of wasting an extra suit?
Well, I mean, I get it. You haven't been on ships a lot, but sometimes things happen, and you kind of want to
I've
be
been on
protected.
your ship. I know things happen.
Well, you're still here, right?
Just barely.
As
Not
this
my fault you have a weak-ass stomach.
As this is happening, the group that was in the med lab and was finishing up in there, was there any other questions that you had about anything in the space in there?
I kind of want to gently press Johns a bit
Okay.
with the absence of their
Reed and Clayton, yeah.
Reed and Clayton. Be like, I'm just wondering, are you doing all right? I know it's been technically 70 years in time, but for you just went to sleep right after a whole bunch of bullshit, and from what I understand, you lost a lot of good people.
Yeah, a lot of dreaming. Cryo sleep that long is not something I'd suggest. He says as he takes the hydration and kind of, starts chugging it.
Just with concern for my own crew, how are you holding up?
Well, I guess I'll live. I'm inoculated. I should be fine. It's a hell of a thing to witness. When it happened on board, and I don't give a fuck if she finds out, the individual, Jared, Billings. He was our mechanic. He his head exploded, and fucking little demon of a thing came out, and he kind of points at the jar. One of those.
So
I'm sorry,
that
what?
was
Huh?
inside him.
Yeah, one of those was inside
What
of
is it?
Billings for sure.
Yeah,
How
they're
did
gonna
it
take a quick.
get inside of Billings.
The disease. Yeah, it was transferable through spores in the air. That's what I think Flynn said. LB1113 was covered with it. It was just a hot mess of it. We would always stay in EVAs on site. Science module was hermetically sealed. Captain decided to command from the science module. And
we're supposed to bring this back with us.
yeah.
We're gonna bring this to.
Well,
We're gonna bring this to.
This whole
Tara?
ship is riddled with that shit.
well, it's called Earth in this setting, but yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't sure. It was either Terra or Earth.
That's right. We're gonna bring the ship to Wayland, whatever you guys call it. I understand. It sounds crazy, and it is. It is crazy. He kind of drinks the hydration again, but corporation's never done me wrong, so I just don't want anybody else to die.
Cam's gonna look at Rye.
Yeah, they're gonna look back. Look.
Yeah.
You said that thing popped out of somebody. He's gonna point at the thing.
Oh
How
yeah.
many people did they have? How many people were on your ship?
20 something.
So you're
Oh.
riding at 6 out of 20 something. I'm sorry to tell you, but your odds are not great at achieving your
Okay.
goal that you just made for yourself.
Cab. I don't know if this is. I don't know if we should stay here.
I think the
I
situation
don't think so.
is we got to do the job. It's kind of a situation where we don't really have a choice. Because
I mean,
I'll be honest, as many people I can get to live as possible is kind of my primary goal, for sure. But
that's great.
We've already invested this much in the research that was put forward by the people who died on that planet. People that I killed on that planet. It's kind of important.
I mean, that's fine and dandy, but if this is
Do you need
gonna,
the whole ship?
Yeah. Gonna need the whole ship.
Jam's gonna raise the gun.
He looks at you. Okay.
I don't think that I want to have anything that's gonna harm our crew, let alone the Earth. Come
It
back
doesn't
to.
seem like this is containable.
He scratches his head. It's contained.
Here, specifically on this ship, once the ship gets somewhere that's no longer the case.
It's contained.
Give him none.
It's at that moment the intercom kind of, and you guys who just regrouped in the hallway, the intercom near you does likewise. Help, Cooper. You hear a like sickening kind of splash sound, and then like kind of like a splat and a thunk. Oh shit! And this is Flynn who's on the intercom, and then it kind of buzzes out.
And Flynn was the med officer.
And he stayed in the
The
examination room upstairs. He and Cooper stayed upstairs. Cooper was the
This-
scientist who didn't say a fucking thing throughout the process. He
I'm
just
gonna
looked
look
a little.
to John's. It's contained?
Yeah,
I don't think that's contained.
it's
You
contained.
want to give me your best guess of what just happened?
I'm pretty sure Cooper's head just exploded.
How big do those things get?
I don't know, man. He's kind of looking at you, just kind of.
Captain, give me the okay, and
You get to the Eva suit, Leia, with Reed, Wilson, and Clayton.
Leia will also very pointedly offer Reed hydration, but not
Oh, okay.
Clayton.
Yeah, you hand her one. She takes it and goes, "Thanks," and she'll drink a sip of it, drink another sip of it, and kind of hand it over to Clayton. Clayton's like, seeing the situation, kind of goes, "It's fine. You should drink it all." When you enter into the Eva suits, they are older Eva suits, as mentioned, and it looks like they are, unlike the ones upstairs, aren't broken. It looks like these ones are fine. So Reed kind of moves over to it and says, "We might need it." Looking at Clayton. Clayton nods. "I'll suit up." And then looks over at Leia. "You're welcome to the other one." And that was the corpo girl who said that, like she was allowing you to have Wayland property. And you would basically see that the container units are not transferable. Like, you can't share them. So, and you also can't take the suit with you. So if you want to switch out into this suit, you can.
I will.
Okay, so you're leaving a suit with, I'll say, 1 oxygen left, and you're taking a suit with 5 oxygen. And I would like everybody else besides Leia to roll oxygen rolls.
Again? Okay.
Yeah. This won't be for immediate, like right now. This will be for kind of.
Oh, that did not.
Oh,
work
my bad,
well.
my
Well,
bad.
it's okay. If you hold your mouse over the number 12, you can see what the
Oh,
results.
okay.
Hey.
Rye's doing okay. Now, I will explain that roll is for just like the end of the session, so that's not an immediate thing. But I don't think anyone's in fear of like losing all their oxygen right now, anyways.
Not anymore.
I just wanted to get it out of the way because I think the end of this session will be a little bit more dramatic than your oxygen's slowly wearing out. Boring. So, if that is the case, the people in the med lab, is there anything else that you're wanting to do there?
People, no. We should continue, I think, to Junction B2.
Okay.
The others know where we're going. They can always meet up with us after. But let us continue.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we should
Yeah.
be turning on any reactor, especially if it's going to be going towards Earth.
Johns looks at you.
Oh.
It's not. It's going to Sutter's world.
Sutter's World.
Yeah,
Fuck
where
Sutter's world.
that's where you guys were headed. It's a Wayland Utani
Oh, right.
colony.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
Still, yeah, I
It
would.
could affect, an entire colony
Exactly.
of people.
I agree.
who,
I agree.
It's in
go
the ship.
to and
It's
from Earth.
John looks at you. It's in the ship. It's contained.
Well, we're
John
also
is
in
gonna
the
stay in
ship.
the ship.
Great.
We're also in the ship.
I
So if
understand.
any of us leave the ship,
So let me ask you a question here. If you leave the ship, the job doesn't get done. If you stay on the ship and wanted to go somewhere else, you're leaving me to my death. Because I am already open-aired, going on board your ship, and you have it all over your suits, and you're going to be going to your ship. So,
Sir,
what's your
I
thought
frankly-
process here?
I
sir,
hear
frankly,
you. and we understand.
He shakes
I
his
only
head.
care about my crew.
Look, you're in charge. Whatever you want to do, you want to do. But I think you're being stupid.
You let me know if you want me to need nods towards the.
John's is kind of warming up on me.
No.
You enter in the
John.
science sector. The lights in this hallway and in the room ahead seem to be flickering. The space seems to be kind of wretched. There are gnawed bones kind of near this door, and the door seems to be kind of like slightly ajar. There's a dog also that jumps out of nowhere and murders
I
somebody.
think that is just alien noise, right?
It's
That's
not.
John, I accidentally pulled out one of the card things when I was trying to move my screen around.
What?
This.
Oh,
I guess
initiative.
one of those out.
So if we get into a combat, your initiative will be 6. That's fine.
You
Okay.
could also just click on it and I think delete it
You can right click it and you can send it back to the deck.
or
Oh,
something
okay.
like that.
Or I can.
Sorry.
I
One
got
of the
it.
hazards of owning Great Danes is they hear something, they bark.
Holy shit! Yeah, it's a horse.
Yeah.
It's an alien. It's a
Two
xenomorph.
horses and then a
It's a
skeleton.
xenomorph.
It's a huge dog. So what
Two
I see
Danes and
there
a lab.
again, Sean?
But
What's that?
John, sorry about that. What I see there again? Sorry, John.
So there's like bones. They look like they've been gnawed on the ground, right in front of the science lab. The door's like
Just
not
no.
quite closed.
Guys.
You'd
Yeah.
also notice some of the bones look like they're longer than they should be. Like there's a femur that's a good 3 feet long.
Ooh, that's. He's gonna alert them. Hey, there's bones over there, and I think a femur that's a lot longer than it should be. Wherever it is, and it's gnawed on. It's. Ooh.
Cap for
I'm
us
not a
for
scientist
our
and I'm not a
safety.
biologist.
Cap for our safety.
Oh.
I don't know if we should proceed further.
Mm,
Yeah. I'm
might need.
not sure many of us are going to be proceeding anywhere, but we will. Let's figure it out. Let's go see the reactor and we can discuss things there.
Do you want to use any tools that you have available to you before you go into the Junction B2?
Any tools?
The motion.
Oh,
thing.
the motion sensor.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I thought that thing would just be on while we're walking.
Yeah, you're not looking at it, and it doesn't like
Okay.
alert you.
But yes, I would like to check that before we go.
There's
into
a radar
Junction
ping
B.
in the science lab to the north.
Okay. Rye, get behind me. Rye, get behind me.
Oh, okay, okay.
Mhm.
Tell me twice.
He'll drop his gun from Chance and walk in front of Rice.
Okay.
All right.
And I got your back.
All right. Why don't you walk up past the Junction's door, and just stand guard there. We're gonna try to get through, and then you can follow us back in. Does that sound like a plan?
Anything you want, Cap. Anything.
All right. I'm gonna check this door here. For
Okay.
Junction 2.
It opens. You can see that above you, there's the closed, sealed bulkhead for the junction, and then there's the bulkhead beneath you. The ladder basically comes down, and then you kind of walk around to the other ladder that would descend into the next like hole in the floor.
Okay. Let's proceed as quietly as we can. I know we just made a whole bunch of noise out there, but still. I
Okay.
want everybody to come in here, and we're gonna try to seal the door shut behind us. Not like physically, but like
Without Johns or
Make it
with
so-
Johns?
with I think without Jones for now. We need to have a crew.
Yeah, and I'll push John. I'll push Johns out.
If you're pushing Johns out, he'll kind of look to you and go, "What's the deal?"
Don't
And
worry
you
about it.
You see him
Then
reaching for his
door shuts.
pistol, and you shut the door.
Oh, nope.
Oh man, I don't get paid enough for this shit,
He
bro.
moves away. You three are going to descend down.
Yeah, we are. Alright, I want to have a real talk with you guys. I don't even think it's about our crew anymore. If we go back onto our ship, we're bringing whatever we just got exposed to onto our ship. And wherever we
Man,
go,
wait.
we risk exposure.
So
Man, we ain't
is this about
contaminated
us?
yet.
Or
Leia and the Corpus.
our
were-
ships are
Wait, wait, wait.
contaminated.
Obviously,
And
that's
then
a,
there's Leia.
Plan.
that is a thought process that we want to kind of get into. But Leia,
Yeah.
everybody else, you're kind of making your way after getting into suits, which took some time. You're making your way towards the living area, And when you get
Sorry, I
there,
think people are laughing at the side chat.
Yeah.
stop being
You
funny.
have drugs. You have all the drugs we have.
Please send
Yeah.
out the truck.
He's got a whole bunch of drugs.
So
man.
you head
I'll
down
be a
that
moment.
way. Johns comes around the corner and kind of looks at you. Clayton says, "What's the situation? Where are the others?" They pushed me out of the junction hall and shut the door. Why? She'll say that as she kind of moves towards the med lab with like urgency. And then you see her kind of stop and go, "Fuck." And then she looks at Johns. "Did you see anyone take the case?" "Yeah. Their captain." I assumed it would be okay with her. She's company. She shakes her head. "How do you trust her, Mr. Wilson?"
As far as I can throw her, and I'm not very strong.
Well, that is certainly true, but I mean, she always tries to get the mission done, everybody out alive.
You attend to her? You think she's a good captain?
I believe if we can get her to do the job the way we want it to be done, then yeah, we can get everything done perfectly.
Johns, based on your interaction with her, do you think she's a threat to the security of the cure? I don't think so. They used one of the vials, though, and gestures at Leia. "You okayed this?" Reed will step forward. "I administered it, Miss Clayton. We can just get the ones upstairs." Clayton shakes her head. "Based on what happened upstairs, I'm presuming that Flynn's research was too detail-oriented. Idiot. And so Cooper is the unfortunately unwitting circumstance of that problem." "Mr. Wilson, I hope that you and your crew are here to truly help us. And I understand that there is a certain agency that ship captains might have and wish to exploit. But this is very problematic for the company, and I do not like the turn of events that have transpired." John shakes his head. There was also a motion tracker sensor detected. Seems they were pretty focused on it, but I don't know if she's able to read the device very well. It looked like it was downstairs, the motion ping, not on this floor. Back downstairs. You enter into Section C1. Section C1 does have access to Deck C. It does not have a further descent into Deck D. When you exit out of this space, you'll be doing so in a southern fashion or a northern fashion. However, you would know that based on your tracking device, the northern escape will just lead you to a point where you're overlooking Deck D. And a catwalk in the center of the ship. You're headed for the reactor anyways.
Yes, which is bottom right door there, I believe.
You bet.
Alright, let's
Well-
get in there and then try to lock that door too.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you come out this hallway, you'll notice that the space is absolutely covered in that black mold, and it does look like this is a bit different than the mold upstairs. It looks like it has actually grown to a point where there are weird, strange, like biomechanical looking vines on the wall, and it also looks like there are pods that are kind of like very weird flesh flowers that seem to be kind of like opened and kind of sagging on the wall in certain points. The other thing you'll note is as you're tracking, it looks like your motion sensor is more vibrantly pinging, and it seems to be more vibrantly pinging here.
Cool. Maybe
Ooh.
we definitely don't dock the Daisy, I think.
You move to the
No.
reactor relay control, I presume. And the door,
Yeah.
double checking. I'm pretty sure it's open. I don't think there are any problems. I think you're okay.
All right.
Hey, Cap. I don't think we should start this reactor.
Oh,
Yeah.
hold on.
No, honestly.
If their intention,
Hmm.
I mean,
I'm
based
thinking
on
more along the lines of sabotage. You know how to fix something, you know how to break it too.
So the only lighting here comes from an open access port on the reactor relay. It glows a dull pale blue, casting long and deep shadows. Something tore up the furniture in this space, and there's loose equipment that looks like it's been used to build a very bizarre-looking nest. In the pile of debris, they're near the reactor.
Get behind me. Let me get by the door.
There's a
by the door.
crumpled up spacesuit. Its filthy helmet is mostly fogged, and the tattered suit looks like it was set on fire at one point. There is a yellow-white resin covering most of the reaction chamber, and it appears that it'll need to be removed, for you to kind of get access to the engines to bring them online. That will require a heavy machinery roll, and it's going to require 3 turns of work.
What if we just to
Turns in the counterclockwise direction.
So what if we're just trying to get rid of it so we can get to it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have to turn it on.
There's the weird spacesuit body guy and the weird nest, and then the walls are covered with a yellowish kind of resin. Again, think of Alien. It's very much like the interior of a hive.
Yeah. Yeah. You said the body's right here.
Can I use the torch on that?
On what? The resin?
I was gonna say maybe
hive.
save the torch as fuel for now.
There's no
until we
hive.
run into something.
There's no hive.
I'm sorry. I thought.
It's a nest. It's like a bunch of shit has been put in a corner, like somebody built themselves like a pillow fort, right? And inside that pillow fort is a spacesuit and a helmet, and the helmet looks like there's been fire that's happened inside the helmet or inside of the nest area, like it's already been burned, right?
Gotcha.
On the walls, especially on the reactor itself, is this yellow resin, like the stuff that they put people against the walls with for face hugging, like an alien.
Yeah.
And that's all over the fucking reactor. For you to be able to turn the reactor on, you're going to need to remove that resin, and you're going to need to kind of handle that business. You'd also notice too that this space, the reactor itself, it does have a radiation hazard. If you were to enter into the space, where the reactor is located, for whatever reason, that would be a problem. You would also note, as an engineer type, this would be for Rai and for Cham, there is a method for you to try to cause a critical mass in this, which would involve shutting off the cooling units, the coolant tanks to the north of you. And once you turn it, you could try and get the reactor to go to a critical mass, which would be a 10-minute countdown to overload. Stopping the reactor would require a similar check, but it can be done very quickly. And then after 5 minutes, the process is irreversible. So basically, 10-minute window to blow it up for the overload, 5-minute window to stop yourself if you accidentally turned it on.
And how
we...
So...
Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I would say that we should probably overload the if we're going with the whole, we're going to not make sure this reaches the other colonies, right? We want to make sure that this goes up. I think the coolant tanks to the north would be the best choice.
But you still have to remove the resin, and you have to turn the reactor on to blow it up.
Okay.
Yes.
It doesn't blow up cold.
So we do have to activate the reactor, but then we have to turn the coolant tanks off. Is that what we were saying?
Correct. But first...
And how do we access the coolant tanks?
Coolant tanks are accessed inside the maintenance shafts.
And that thing on the motion sensor, is it moving? Or is it staying
If
in
you
place?
check it, it seems to be moving. Yeah, it seems to have kind of pinged over to here instead.
That's a bit of concerning. We have to possibly watch out for that too.
Would
wherever
that look like
is.
it's on its way?
No, no, no. It just looks like it's fucking around.
It's heading the opposite direction. Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if
All
like
right.
that was our catwalk or
No,
above
you'd
us.
also have motion sensors above you, which we're going to discuss in a bit, and it looks like there's a number of signatures, which you presume are Reed, Clayton, Wilson, everybody you left behind.
Including me, you
Alright.
bastards.
Now,
And they'll be on their
is there a
way
chance?
in a second. Go ahead with your question.
Is there a chance of compromising the coolant tanks before initiating the reactor?
No. So the coolant tanks will not actually be compromisable until they're doing their job, and they have to have the reactor doing its job before they do theirs.
All right.
Hmm.
Well then, let's
Guess
start up
we'll
this
get- we'll
reactor.
get
We gotta get through that resin.
You start
we gotta
moving
use
the
torch on it.
resin away. Go ahead and make a heavy machinery roll for that.
Who
I am
wants
on
to
it.
do that?
Good.
'Cause I'm not the
I'm on
greatest
it.
We can.
heavy machine.
Okay.
And at this point,
Oh.
Clayton
Of course.
will ask Reed to take Johns with her and with Leia and make their way after Captain Miller. And then Clayton and Wilson will follow your group. Reed accepts the task without question. Leia, do you kind of go along with the other crew and kind of do what they're wanting?
Well, like I said, it's more exciting than a sleepwalking delivery run. Let's see where this goes.
So you will be on Junction C2.
Feeling good right now.
When this all begins. Okay. So what'd you get on the heavy?
Nothing good.
Oh.
No successes. Do you want to push it?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, sorry. Never mind.
Um,
Never mind. Sorry. No, never mind. Never mind. Not on this. This is not a pushable thing because it's a durational. It's turn based. You don't want to. You. It's going to take a long time, so you don't want to push anyways.
Okay.
No, I'm not pushing.
Yeah, you're just stressing.
That's why I
yourself.
didn't want to push.
Yeah. But something will happen when this does occur. As you kind of start making noise and start kind of working at it, Rye, are you helping tear the stuff off?
Yeah.
Yeah. You go ahead.
Yeah.
Roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're both working at it.
Okay.
As long
I
as
didn't
one of
know-
you succeeds at the first bit, we can get it done.
I
in
was
3
not
turns.
sure. I was not sure how that worked. So,
No worries.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, so you nail
Hey.
it. You got a success between the two of you. You don't
Yeah.
need to push. So you kind of crushed that shit off a bit, and you're starting to make your way through it. Miller, since you're kind of in a supervisory kind of position here and kind of keeping an eye on everything, the motion tracker has a faint ping inside of the room that is not one of your people, and you kind of, and then look over to the corner where the spacesuit is, and you watch as it extends upwards as if it were like a marionette puppet being lifted by its strings. When it gets to its full height, you can see that the gloves of the suit have been ripped away from the wrists of the suit. And it looks like the arms of this thing that is standing before you are probably a good 2 feet longer than a regular human's should be. The legs that are present here on this creature have a similar process where it looks like the shit has ripped away. Underneath is a gray skin. The gloves seem to be kind of matted onto much more massive hands, which have breached free of the tips of their fingers with large claws. And you can now see that the back of the helmet appears to have been breached. And it looks like a weird conical type of like dome of the head extends out of the back of it. Also covered with gray skin. If you're familiar with the neomorph, I don't know if you are, but I'm going to post it in the chat. Basically that
What the?
is inside of the suit, and the absolutely kind of burnt out kind of like glass face you can see kind of shift a little bit and then you can see bright red and yellow open up as a mouth inside of it, kind of within the helmet. Okay, so someone already pulled an initiative card. I think that was Johnny, right?
That was me.
Oh, never mind. Then you're on a 6. Everybody else, grab a card off the initiative pool, and this is just so we're ready for next time because we're about to end it out.
Beautiful.
How do you?
Just,
I clicked it, then
you should be able to just grab and
to
pull.
click.
Oh. I
I'm a
clicked it
3.
and it gave me a 7, but I
It
guess...
gave me a 7, but
It also gave me a 7,
Yeah,
No,
that's
I
fine.
have it.
but I'm also a 3.
You can have the same number. That's a possibility.
I'm a 7.
Okay, so I'm just going to add everybody to initiative.
oh, I guess
And Johnny, you got a what?
I got a 7, but I didn't drag it out. It's not appearing
Yeah,
there.
that's what we were saying. Like when we clicked it, it was a 7. Now that I pulled one out, is it 2?
Okay,
Because it flips back over.
weird. So go with whatever you got first, and then you should be able to manually modify your stuff there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 7.
Yep.
Oh, what?
I don't think people can change it all at the same time, so I updated mine. And yeah, with the Neomorph, that's where we'll begin next session. We'll plan for it. Again, these don't have to be on the same day. We're going to figure it out for sure whenever the next availability is for us. If you're interested in this story and want to see its resolution, please keep an eye on the broadcast notice. I'll be putting it on schedule when we get a chance. I know it wasn't up there for this time. If you're in our Discord, it is posted on the promotion side. If you're interested in joining our Discord, just reach out to me in DM or some other method. And thanks for watching, those that did. We will pick up when we pick up. And thanks for watching. See you next time.